We're live?
I don't know.
Yes, we are live. Oh man, it's always an adventure. What's up, everyone? This is Benzinga Live. I'm Spencer. There's Aaron. So many things to get to today, and fortunately, we have 2.5 hours to get to it all. We'll try to do our best. We have Gareth Soloway from In the Money Stocks joining us here momentarily. We got to talk about Disney. We got to talk about Twitter. We got to talk about inflation. Gah! Did you hear that? Peloton had their like quarterly all hands meeting to talk to the employees and introduce the new CEO while they were at it, and a bunch of people that got laid off got into the call and were like spamming the call with a lot of mean comments. I thought that was interesting. But anyway, what's up? Quantum. I did not look to see how my Flonk is doing today. I'll have to check it out. He said that Eli is doing well. Callaway Golf, they report earnings tonight, though. Market seeming to reverse here. Again, we'll talk about that. We'll talk shorting with our TradeZero guys, Dan Pipitone and Steven Johnson at 1 o'clock. We'll talk to Vivi The Bio Queen at 12:30. We'll talk to Hot Stocks Luke at 1 o'clock. I think I covered it all.
Yeah, that was a good job.
I don't know. Yeah, Darren, you could have lost your job but gotten a free year Peloton subscription, so that's fun. When is the Google split happening?
I don't think till this summer.
It's a June something, right? It's June something or other. I don't know. It's in the check the Benzinga Pro. It's in there. Anyway, smash that like button, guys. You know what to do. Let's start this show. This is Benzinga Live. Spencer Israel and producer AB. What's up, everybody? How are we doing?
Someone told me buy high, sell higher.
Let's get Matt Hammond on the show to talk some IPOs. Jake Wujasek from Trend Spider. We have a breaking news. We had two different people just say two different things in the live chat. Someone said July 1st. Someone said June 15th. It's one of those two.
Yeah, I mean, what's the difference?
What's the difference?
It's February. It's
tomato.
Yeah.
The thumbnail game is evolving. You hear that? The thumbnail game is evolving. Thank you, Master of Stonks. We appreciate that.
Yeah, as always, please leave feedback for us. So we're always trying to improve here and take some feedback from the audience.
For sure. Anyway, so we got a lot going on here. You want to start with our first guest who's already backstage?
Let's do it.
Let's bring on Gareth Soloway from In the Money Stocks. And yeah, let's give him the special intro. We got to make a new special intro. Can you make a note to make a new special intro?
I'll do that right now.
Put it in Asana.
Asana. Well, let's check on Asana with Gareth Soloway.
All right. Oh, what's up, Gareth?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How are you guys doing today?
We're fired up. Market's doing all sorts of things, and we like that.
Yeah, it certainly is.
We don't like it when it's boring. We like it when it's interesting, and it's interesting today. So
it sure is. I mean, how about that? We had that crazy inflation number, and then the markets gapped lower, then rallied and basically went flat to positive, and now are selling back off. So just whipping every which way.
Yeah.
I got actually out of all my option positions.
Ahead of the number? Smart.
No. Oh. Well, no. I had Disney calls going into earnings last night that still performed pretty well. But yeah, for the first time in a while, my portfolio is just all stocks, no options. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, it's probably not a bad thing. But when you get these whips in the market, I feel like the premium they charge you on options just gets ridiculous. I mean, it's
exactly.
Just, it's hard to, I feel like a lot of average investors don't really understand that either, is you have to kind of look at what they're charging you in premium and say, do I still think that this is a good investment at that point? So, yeah.
Someone in the chat says, Pigumi, I don't know how to say that. It says, you have too many screens, Gareth. In all seriousness, how do you is that 8 or are there more off camera?
No, just 8 screens.
Okay. How do you really pay attention to that? Because I've got 4, and I will admit there are some times where 4 does not feel like enough. I wish I had one more, but 8 seems like just a lot. It's information overload.
Yes. So to explain it is if I was only a trader for myself, I probably think 3 or 4 is more than enough. But
Yeah.
everyone has to remember. So I'm running a day trading chat room during the morning session. Then I have swing trades that I'm posting and taking. Then I have my own accounts, crypto accounts, and swing trade and day trade accounts.
Yeah.
And then I have chat boxes with my business partners. So it's I like to just kind of keep different ones on different screens. And so I'll hear a
Got it.
buzz when someone messages me, for instance, and I know to look at that particular screen. So it is,
All right.
if for a normal situation, it's way too much. I agree.
I got to interrupt you here. Thank you, Nick Clausen. This is why it's important to have your Benzinga Pro squawk and signals turned on at all times, because I didn't see that Uber is halted, and the code is news pending.
Mm-hmm.
News pending on Uber, a midday halt. That is.
And didn't they just report earnings yesterday after the bell?
This is the halt happened. I don't know where I've been, but I've been out to lunch apparently, because earnings were yesterday.
Wait, what was the deal again? Can you say it again?
Uber's been halted, and I didn't even notice this for like a half hour. It happened a half hour ago.
But what's the deal behind the halt?
The code is news pending.
Which blows my mind, right? Because what it's telling you is that there's something new that they didn't know yesterday at their conference call, which is super rare.
So I bet it's going to be negative. I actually was.
So that happened 1,100 hours ago. Sorry. I've been doing other things and did not see this.
I was actually looking at Uber puts. Now I wish I had some, because if it's bad and the stock drops like 10, 20%.
Yeah. Okay. So like, time to speculate for fun. What could
do we think
be?
It's on the upside or the downside?
Well, do we think it reopens today? Probably. It's already been halted for 20 minutes. I feel like it probably resumes at some point today. But what does this mean? Does this mean
let's go to good old Twitter. Twitter always has some good speculation.
CEO stepping down? That would be it. It could it mean an offering? Well, no, they would have announced that yesterday, wouldn't they?
Yeah, same thing with CEO stepping down. That's why it's yeah.
I don't know.
No clue.
Wow. All right. Are they buying someone, or did they receive an unsolicited takeover offer? Those headlines usually leak though. I don't know. All right. We'll have to keep an eye on this Uber thing. Dividends. No.
Dividends.
Sorry, not. Oh shoot, is today the investor day? No, their earnings. It was yesterday. The earnings were there. Oh gosh, I don't even know at this
I guess
point.
the CFO.
Oh, Tiny Pie's got it. There we go. Uber buying Peloton. Yep, that's that. I think that's the winner here. Could you even imagine?
Well, here, let's check what Lyft is doing. That should give us an idea of what.
No, it shouldn't.
Right? So what they're going to do is they're going to have Ubers that have Peloton bikes and treadmills on them, and so you get to run, even though someone's driving, you get to run like you're running there.
I think this does give us some insight. This shows that the market's expecting.
I take it back.
Okay.
I retract my statement. The market is clearly nervous for this news, whatever it is.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I know what it should have, could have, but I was literally looking at Uber puts this morning, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stay off the options table.
You don't know. Don't say that, because you don't know.
You're right. But if you have if you're holding contracts into an event like this, even if, I would still be excited right now, even if it was potentially going to be positive, because anytime you can get like a huge move like that, the contracts just go crazy because the implied volatility skyrockets out of nowhere.
Yeah. Wow, sorry, I just interrupted the flow because I didn't even see that headline. And this is why you got to have your squawk turned on and your signals tool turned on, your alerts turned on, because I don't have that stuff turned on all the time, and I totally missed it. So that's the beauty of alerts, is you don't have to be staring at the screen all day to get the information. But back to what we were saying before, Gareth, you are staring at all those screens all day to get all your information. What kind of audio alerts do you have?
So I actually don't have audio alerts. I have more like dings, dings type stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just more just to kind of direct me in the right direction. But usually I have a group of stocks that I'm watching each morning, ones that are in play. So like an Uber, like a TWOU, which is getting pounded today. Anything that's moving, that's going to be on my watch list. And then that's what I'm trading off of for the day. So that's really what I focus on, because you're right. You can't pay attention to 8 screens at once. It's impossible.
Yeah. TWOU was my number one loser this morning. on my pre-market scanner. It was down 32% in the pre-market. I have not seen. Well, it's
Down
not usually on my radar.
47.5%. Now I'm actually in this right now. I was looking up some of the details, and it's now trading below cash. They do about $1 billion in revenue, and I think what's going on here is there's some hedge funds that have about 10 million shares, and I'm sure there's one or two of these hedge funds funds that are unloading, and it's just pounding. But the idea there is that whenever they're done, it should snap back a little bit. Obviously not 47% wise, but yeah, for me, it's a risk reward play down here at around 940, 945, 950 or so.
All right, so you're in from whereabouts?
My average is closer, like right around 10 actually at this point. Yeah, so I've been slowly inching in. I'll probably buy a little bit more. My last buy was just down here at 948. I think I picked it up was my entry.
Yeah, you're all right. This is why I need 8 screens. I wouldn't have missed this if I had 8 screens. Actually, I still may have.
Yeah,
but
unless you got that crazy eye ability to have them going in different directions.
No. Well, there's someone, Aaron. You remember Steve Kalajian, right? He's been on our show before. He has like 50 screens, and I'm like, there's no way.
He's got the coolest setup.
There is no possible way.
Gareth's is pretty cool too.
Gareth is cool, but there's no way you can have 50 screens. Anyway, let's move on. TWO. So do you have a stop loss in mind here? What's the out?
So I'd like to see it hold. Let me see here. I'd love to see a bounce by the close back to about 10 or so. That would kind of be my area there. And then what I do is I'll give it into tomorrow. So the idea here is that if you look at the fundamental metrics, that's what's getting me excited here. Trading below cash. They actually did better on revenue. Earnings, the guidance was a little bit light, and it's just getting crushed because of that. But for the most part, the metrics look really good for a snapback. And I'm going off the level 2 to me looks like there's an institution or a hedge fund that's just unloading. And the hedge funds don't care what price, right? They're just getting out. They're like, okay, we're cutting this position today. And the idea, again, is when the dust settles, you'll see a snapback. But I'd like to see a close back around 10.
All right. I'm seeing the thing that Morgan Stanley has taken a 5% stake in Uber. If that's it, if that's the headline to halt this stock, then consider me disappointed, because that is not super,
and I'm glad I don't have the puts.
That's not super noteworthy either way.
That kind of goes hand in hand with what we were talking about yesterday. If the big traders had their trades published in real time,
yes,
you would see this stuff all the time. If
you wouldn't see halts ideally.
Well, right, but that's what would happen if it was like Warren Buffett takes a 5% stake in Alibaba today.
Yeah, but then it creates all sorts of unknowns. Does it spike? Is there a counter trade? Is there a counter trade there? That's the unknown.
Wait, hold on.
Not only that, but I mean,
is Lyft still trading low? This might be a good time to trade some call options on Lyft, because if the news is good for Uber, Lyft should come back up, right?
Well, not necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the news, then that's not a bad thing. It looks like Lyft's starting to bounce a little bit.
Yeah,
ooh, I might try to get in on a cheap.
Yeah, this is a 1 minute chart. Gareth, if you want to share your charts, by all means, please do so.
Okay.
And awesome. we can see what you're looking at here. Can't you see it in the level 2? What is it? What is it? The ghost.
The order flow, maybe.
Well, there's no order flow to see right now in Uber. So
maybe Lyft. They're talking about Lyft. Maybe.
No, I don't know. If Jason were here, he would say, "Don't use pronouns." The ghost. But he's not here, so he's not here. So we're not going to say that.
All right, let's pull Garrett's charts up. Yeah, what else is on the watch list?
Let's see. I picked up Facebook over the last few days and into this level. Check out this level, guys. Beautiful support line going back to 2018, and you got a good bounce yesterday. A little bit down today, but I still think Facebook's kind of good for a bounce, probably back to 245 over the next week or so, assuming markets don't collapse. We were looking at Goose today. That was getting hit a little bit, although that bounced back. That stock's down about 15%. And then I saw Datadog. Datadog had a big pop today. That actually got right to a level here. Take a look at this level here. And then it backed off. So you can see right here, all these pivot pops right there. And then nice little pullback.
Wait, are they restating their financials?
Oh, God. If that's the case.
That's the initial thing I saw on Twitter. Was that the CFO was like readjusting guidance?
Oh my goodness, that's fun.
And then
I saw that's going to bring a ton of lawsuits if they just gave their financials yesterday and then a day later are redoing them.
All right. And hey, did you think you were having a bad day? You're not the Uber CFO today. He's having a worse day. He or she's having a worse day than you. I promise.
I'm in TWOU and I'm down, but I think that's worse.
Anyway, so TWOU, Meta. What else here?
That Datadog was an interesting one, but that's
yeah.
already pulling back off the level, so there's nothing really to do there. There were a couple other big movers out there. I'm trying to think about what we were looking at today. Man, hard to remember. It's all blur.
Yeah,
when you have that many screens, everything just goes into a blur.
Yeah, well, so here, our jogging memory, we had Datadog earnings, we had Twilio earnings, we had Disney, we had Twitter, we had iRobot, we had Coke, Pepsi this morning. I'm just going off the earnings memory here. I'm trying to think what we talked about this morning. I don't know.
You know what's been a sleeper that's been a great mover? This Discovery. And I wouldn't be surprised if it looks like it's getting into resistance here around 31, but at some point, I think that goes higher going into the HBO merger. I think that's going to be something that a lot of investors are excited to be able to invest in.
Is Viacom stock moving similarly?
Yeah, I think it has. It has really had a nice move up.
That's
same kind of thing.
I kind of like Viacom.
That's so interesting. Wait, Discovery actually is the one that they have the catalyst. They're the one that's merging with Warner Media. Viacom has no such thing, and yet they trade together regardless.
They do. They do.
Okay, I'm interested. I'm going to set an alert here on Webull to just alert me when Viacom or Discovery gets above. Well, I can't see entirely right there, but like what's the resistance there in Viacom? What did he say? Like 30? What's that? $38, $38, 39, and Discovery. These charts don't look that bad to me, actually. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like resistance on Viacom's around 37 or so. This little pivot area right here, and then if it gets through that, 38, 39 will be more resistance.
Discoveries, we'll call it just 32, just to give ourselves some room. But all right. Bring them up there.
Another stock making a move today, Lumen Technologies. That one's getting crushed, down 16%. But I don't see a great level at this point. SGEN is another one. That's down 15% on the day.
I'm setting some alerts right now because those Discovery and Viacom charts were so beaten down, and it's been a slog to get back here. But if they can break out above those levels, then maybe we do see a.
I'm gonna make a prediction here, and it's only a prediction, no inside information. But I think eventually Netflix buys Viacom.
So what would they get with that? They would get Paramount. They would get Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus, but I think the real kicker is so they're going to get tons of movies, right, from Paramount and from CBS, but then they got multiple live channels to debut some of their content on potentially, and then the biggest kicker is going to be live sports, right? So you saw Netflix earnings really kind of suck, their guidance suck. Well, what's a good catalyst? You bring in live sports to Netflix, that's a big catalyst. You got football, you got all these other NCAA.
So Viacom market cap is $23.25 billion. Netflix is obviously trumps that. It's 10 times. It's 10 times that. Not quite, but almost. That's not a super hot take. I could get behind that. I could get behind that idea. Right, Netflix for Viacom.
Yeah, man. It's probably a shot in the breeze, but it's an
interesting idea. It's an interesting idea. I don't hate that idea.
If Netflix had a stellar quarter, I would say, they don't need to. But it kind of seems like competition's starting to get to them a little bit, and they might need that extra boost into some new categories like sports, live sports.
That would make for such an interesting change of a narrative because Netflix was the disruptor and all the other the traditional cable providers, how do you compete? Well, you have to pivot to streaming, right? Obviously, you have to launch your own platform, and now you have Netflix. Their growth in the U.S. has slowed for some time.
Yeah.
It's their growth has all been international. So how do you pivot and where do you get the growth from? Oh, you go back to the traditional. So it's life is a circle.
It's like the same things that were popular in the 90s come back 20 years later, and
life is
style.
but a circle. Yeah, everything comes back around. Silliness. I've been seeing some more ads for some good Paramount Plus shows. I don't have Paramount Plus, but I've been seeing some ads to get that. Anyone know why Uber is halted? No, we don't know why Uber is halted. We have a couple of ideas. Their investor day is happening right now, so they may be restating their financials. I saw a thing about a Morgan Stanley stake, but I got nothing confirmed on the Uber halt. Let's see what our news desk said. We are in okay. This is some good color. Thanks to our news desk for this. So I'll read you this headline from our desk 15 minutes ago. Since the stock is listed on the NYSE, investors will not get a resume time. The stock will open whenever floor specialists are ready to begin executing orders again. So this could reopen in a minute. This could reopen tomorrow. Don't know. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. Disney had an amazing report.
It looks like it looks like it's reopened, guys.
Hey, I just
dropping.
You can't make this stuff up.
Uber's dropping.
Yeah, I could call out Gareth. There we go. He's got it on his charts. I got up on mine right now too.
Oh, but it's not.
Well, everything looks dramatic on a 1 minute, so I'm going to the 15 minute.
Oh no, it's I've seen some buyers. Oh yeah, I mean.
Look at that. We're open. That was fun. So okay. So what was the? Let's go to the news feed here. What was the actual reason for the halt?
Looks like guidance. What is that? Uber CFO.
So they gave guidance during their investor day.
Yeah,
that's weird. Why wouldn't they give guidance yesterday on the call? That's so strange. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. Usually, stock gets halted the day after the earnings. Your first assumption is, like you said before, oh, someone screwed up and they gotta restate their numbers. But this is very confusing. Interesting that we did go right down to now we're below the 200 days, so never mind.
There's a good support level at around 38.50 if it goes straight into that.
Is that on? You see that on the daily, the hourly, what?
10-minute chart, 10-minute support.
10-minute chart, okay. Yeah, I like my 15-minute charts. All right, watching Uber, watching Lyft. They trade together. They are related. Yep, Lyft too. What jumps out to me in the Lyft chart? Anything? Go to a daily. No, these candles are so.
Looks like
big.
It's gonna hit. Just hit 38.53. Kissed the level right there. Now we'll see if we get a bounce. 47. It's piercing.
Crap. Here, yeah. There is some heavy selling pressure.
Oh,
we are at yesterday's low right now in Uber. We are right there.
Crazy.
Wow. This is such a rare occurrence for a company of this size for the stock to halt midday during the investor day on a news pending code. This does not happen very often. I'm gonna keep my Uber and my Lyft on the screen at the same time. And let's just watch them trade together here for a minute. Wow. Yeah. Uber, we're now down to where we were on Wednesday. I'm sorry, Tuesday.
There's that big move. At first, right after it opened, it hadn't made it was kind of hanging out for a second.
I mean, we're back now. We're down into Tuesday's candle on Uber, yesterday's candle on Lyft.
Wow.
So the lowering prices is that we can't listen to the call obviously because we're doing this, but
someone in the chat got it. Let me go back to Twitter. Oh boy.
I've never really understood the business model. I give them credit for creating a new industry, right? But I've never really understood the entire model depends on basically people, because it's not a viable. Basically, like it's a side hustle, right? That's
Yeah.
what Uber and Lyft is. It's a side hustle. So the entire model depends on people's desire to take on a side hustle or to like just to kill time in retirement, right? If you're like retired and you want to like kill some time and make some money.
Oh, look at that bounce, man. Nice bounce.
That was wicked bounce. Easier to see on the 1 minute chart. Let's go to the 1 minute chart. Wicked bounce there. They both just turned.
Anyone who bought at that 38.50 Pierce level, man, easy, almost dollar here. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's what's so fun about these markets. I mean, like all these, especially with the earnings, some of these stocks have moved like, I mean, what was 20, 30, 40%? We saw Snapchat up 60% after its earnings. I mean, the moves have just been insane over the past two, three weeks.
Wow, Darren says he bought at 38.15. You should.
Nice, good job.
I am still not like super convinced. I don't know if I understand what the news is here, to be honest with you guys.
I saw something saying Morgan Stanley reduced its stake in Uber over the last year by about 9.7 million shares. Morgan Stanley reported today it currently owns 100 million shares of Uber, representing 5.2% of the company.
See, we have a bunch of headlines here in Pro, but I can't understand which of these is the meaningful one. And if I don't understand the news, thanks, Randy. If I don't understand what the catalyst is, then no touchy for me. Because I just don't. I don't have a good sense here. Anyway, yeah, we just went flat. Well, we're still red for the day, but wicked bounce. Holy moly, that's violent. Oh, that's interesting. BZ Tokyo, I didn't know that. He says like Uber is like the taxi companies use Uber. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think that Uber, the ultimate goal of Uber is autonomous, right? I mean, that's got to be what they're thinking. That's where they get to profitability. I don't know if they'll ever really get to profitability.
I know, but in order for them to get there, somebody has to develop that first. Shout out Elon. I mean, easier said
Come on,
than
Elon,
done.
what the heck are you doing over here? Let's get going here.
Easier said than done. By the way, this is a good time to mention that there is a new miniseries debuting. Actually, I think on Paramount Plus. I think this goes full circle about Uber. It stars of Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Travis Kalanick. Was that his name? The founder and the CEO who got ousted a few years ago.
Yeah.
JGL plays him. And if you're into that sort of thing, you should check out. The show is called Super Pumped. Oh, it's on Showtime. Super Pumped. Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays the former Uber CEO. Tells the story of the company. Check it out. I know I'll be watching.
Well, you know who owns Showtime, right? CBS. So,
CBS. Hey, and Viacom.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the situation. I have to hop off for a quick phone call, Aaron. So can you run with this?
Let's do it.
All right. Gareth, it's been a pleasure to chat as always.
Definitely. Always a pleasure.
All right, Gareth. Let's go ahead and let's see. Shout out to Zunaid in the chat saying he YOLO'd some Uber calls. Let's see in the chat what everyone's watching, what stocks you guys are trading out there. See if anyone's got any questions. We can look up some charts and anything else that you're interested in that we haven't covered yet.
Yeah.
Gareth would love to look at.
Looks like markets are bouncing up a little bit after that nasty little retrace. Yeah, good move. NASDAQ, I mean, amazing. Yields, I think, we haven't talked about yields yet, but yields hitting 2% off that crazy read on headline CPI. Nuts, man. The Fed has really boxed us in here, But,
and we saw this a couple days ago where actually the bond yields on the 10-year ticked higher, I think, to its highest point since 2019. But tech was still trading higher, so it was good to see, the Qs and NASDAQ show some resiliency in the face of some bond hikes, which in the past have been detrimental for the prices of tech shares.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because that is a disconnect, right? I mean, the idea is that higher yields should be hurting tech, but it hasn't recently, so that's a good sign for tech. Question is, how much higher do yields go? Yeah, that's a good question. We did hit some pretty good support here on the Qs about a week and a half ago. And I love showing this chart here, folks, for those of you out there. But you can see basically how the midpoint. So if you look at these parallel lines, perfectly parallel, basically after COVID, the dip in March, we touched that low. And then from there on, we were in this upper range from the midpoint up. And then we touched it again here. And now the idea I'm thinking is that the Qs want to go back to that midpoint here before they start selling off again. Which means we still have a little bit more upside potentially on the markets before that happens. But
yeah.
And
I've got a couple names that have been making moves that I've been watching. Upstart.
UPST, yeah.
Got beaten down, got to a point where, and if you look at it over the past just couple days, I mean, it's made a nice, let's see, 20% move this week.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that amazing? I just want to say that, folks. I mean, we've been in a market for the last whatever years where it's been grinding up, which has been great. But, we're in a market where stocks are moving 20 to 30%. And we're talking large caps, like multi-billion dollar companies, 20 to 30% in a week. It's incredible. Like SE. I mean, I was in this one with my group here. This went from $120 basically 2 weeks ago to $170. I mean, incredible. The volatility, if you're a swing trader, it is just gold right now.
Let's check out Asana. Asana's up almost 50% over the last week. I mean, this was one on Wednesday. Wow. It was up 10%. And then yesterday it was up 10%. Now it's up 13% today. I can't even remember the last time I've seen a stock have, especially like you said, I mean, this is a $13 billion company, have three consecutive days where it's trading 10% higher than the previous close. But on something like this, I mean, you could go in and try to play it up here to that previous resistance. But I mean, it's like at some point you got to say, okay, 30% in 3 days is too much. And then look for a pullback.
Yeah. And one thing I would pay attention to, this little pivot high before the latest downshift, that's coming right in around $70. So that'll be a little resistance. And then if it gets through there, you got, $80 resistance and eventually gap fill. But, definitely coming into this $70 level looks like decent resistance there. But incredible, man. Yeah.
Yeah. What about, let's see. I see someone, Zen Bullish in the chat's talking about Baba.
Oh, yeah. I've been a big fan of these Chinese stocks. I think I've even talked with you guys about it in past interviews. And I love charts like this, man. I mean, this is, it's kind of the scariest of charts, but this is also where the best opportunities to me are. You look at a chart like this and, all it has to do is break over this trend line. It's off to the races, probably back to $200 a share. And again, one thing investors should remember is that over the last even 10 years, because of the Fed being so lenient and money printing happy, money has just come from overseas. So foreign money has come to invest in the U.S. Domestic money has invested in the U.S. And a lot of fund managers are very underweight China, South America, and other areas. And the idea is as the Fed gets more hawkish and the monetary policy isn't as good, money is going to go to the other, kind of other areas of the globe where it's still very attractive. And China is one of those. Now, obviously, you have the regulatory issue that we have to watch. But again, at these levels, I bet you're looking at, Alibaba, again, market cap compared to Amazon, what is it, a $600 or $300 billion market cap now? Amazon's multi-trillion. And then you look at the potential consumers of 1.5 billion Chinese. It's remarkable, the potential for Alibaba, out there.
Yeah, and I mean, the potential's been there. It's just been a fact that it's still been out of favor. But I think looking at the chart, right? I mean, it's like we still need to see some strength coming back to the upside before we can say, okay, we've fully reversed. But it looks like at least at a point we may have stopped going down. So that's where I'm, I think this gets really interesting trying to play it back up to like 180, 200, especially if it gets back up to 145, 150.
I agree. I think once it takes out this downsloping trend line, and by the way, I'll just throw this out there, folks, but does this looks familiar, this kind of steep downsloping trend line with a little baseline here? And I want to show you something else here. Let's go to Bitcoin's chart. And what did we just see on Bitcoin? Bear with me as I bring that up. And look at Bitcoin. You had the same kind of chart, right? Steep down sloping trend line. This one was angled slightly, connecting, but ultimately look what Bitcoin did. So, Just throwing it out there, patterns tend to repeat in the stock market. That's why I'm a technician, a technical, trader, and I see the kind of similarities. And again, doesn't mean it's going to happen now or tomorrow or next week, but at some point you would expect that the Alibaba to do this type of move, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, and I mean that's why like right now, like say I had $1,000 sitting in a pile and I was trying to get all into Uber in it, or not Uber, Baba. I would start building a position here. I wouldn't
Yeah.
throw it all in right here in case it does dip. I know we had some news on Monday that Alibaba registered shares in the U.S. and it looked like SoftBank may be selling their position, which honestly, I mean at this point. At the time when that news came out, Baba was trading down like 5%. Like, so it may be priced in at this point, even if the news does come out. But if it does come out and the stock does drop 10% down to $110, then it becomes even. Then I'm like, okay, then I'll definitely build my position down
Yeah.
here. So that's the only real cat. And I think Baba does report earnings next week, maybe this week.
I thought it might have been this week already, but let me double check.
It keeps getting pushed back. It was expected to be this week. Now it's expected February 24th. It looks like.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm actually seeing it on Earnings Whispers February 18th, so who knows which one's right, but
Yeah, I mean that's one of those ones that I saw it on it was on Nasdaq's website that they were reporting last week, and I was like, oh, Baba's today. I didn't know that, and then I looked on my brokerage and it was like, so who knows?
yeah, who knows? But yeah, very cool stuff. Yeah, I'm a big fan of those. And, some of these Chinese stocks have been ripping. Like if you take a look at, we were talking about big moves, but, this IQ, which is basically the Netflix of China, it was a $3.30 stock, a week and a half ago. And here it is at 470 or so. So, I mean, percentage wise, just huge moves. But if you zoom out on the chart, I mean, look at the potential upside, if this were even just a retrace to, let's say, a pivot point right here, you're talking about a $7.50, $7 stock from 465. And again, everyone needs to understand the risks of investing in Chinese stocks with delisting potentials and all that kind of stuff. So it should never be a big percentage of your portfolio, in my opinion. But I mean, the reward is certainly there if you're willing to take the risk.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, I agree. We've talked about this a couple times we've been on, right? The potential for some of these Chinese names, and that was probably a few months ago when they were still going down. But now you look at a lot of the names, and they've, at least seem to have bottomed out, have stopped going down for now.
Yeah, and one of the things I kind of remind myself to do is like here's the Hang Seng, the stock market, the Hang Seng index, and you look at the U.S. stock market, and it has gone vertical, right? I mean, you're just making new all-time highs until really December, January, and nonstop for the last God knows how many years. But then you look at the Hang Seng market, which is still trading at the same levels it was trading at in 2013. And the idea is like, okay, well, eventually investors, big money is going to start to look for where the next bull market is. And if it's not in the US, where could it be? And you definitely looking like the Hang Seng, stuff like that makes a lot of sense to have the next big run.
Yeah. And I mean, there's other, like I was looking at an India emerging markets ETF, there's some other ones that are interesting right now too. But all right, Gareth, any other, stocks on your radar that you're watching right now that you want to go through before we wrap up here?
I think really that's about it. I mean, I continue to like Facebook in the short term. I think, again, it popped yesterday. It was the most oversold since its debut. So it got a nice pop, but I still think there's more upside, at least until around 245. I'm in the TWOU, not going very well right now, but we'll see where it is later today. And again, valuation metrics make that attractive as a swing trade, I think. But aside from that, yeah, it's fun to just watch the whippiness in this market. I was in the QID earlier today for just a quick trade as the NASDAQ did pull back off of that kind of move back to the flat line, got out of that. But it's been a fun market, and I just want everyone to just have a game plan going into trading. Remember that. Don't go in blind. You want to know what you're doing, what you're setting up, know your position sizes so that you don't mess up. Because this market is great if you know what you're doing, but I think you'd agree that if you don't, it can take your money real quick.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been so fun as a trader, like the past couple of weeks, just the volatility we've had. We talked about it for some of these big billion-dollar moves or billion-dollar companies. We've seen 20-30% moves in single days.
Yeah.
So, again, like you said, you need to know what you're doing because otherwise you can just get hit in these markets. But Yeah, thank you as always, Gareth, for coming on the show. Love having you. Folks can find more from you at inthemoneystocks.com. Anywhere else? Any, Twitter, anything?
Yeah, Twitter at Gareth Soloway, my handle right there, my first name, last name. That's great there. I post charts up there. And yeah, thank you guys for having me. It's always fun to come on.
All right, beautiful, Gareth. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
All right, y'all. That was Gareth Soloway from In the Money Stocks. Go ahead and give him a follow on Twitter. Check out the website. I got a special guest here with me now. Is he ready?
Double laptops. Let's go. What is going on, Producer AB? What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday.
Woo!
We're back at it. We are ready to rip.
Let's do it.
All right. Where do you want to start? Give me one to start with, and then I got a couple tickers that I want to talk about as well.
Okie dokie. Well, so we just had this hot news out on Uber. Did you see that?
I did not. What is it?
So the CFO came out and adjusted EBITDA or adjusted guidance right after the company reported earnings yesterday, 2 days ago. Okay. Stocks trading down. Look at this chart. This chart's wacky.
All right, let's see it.
Pulling up my Benzinga Pro.
I'm logging into my Benzinga Pro as well. 2-week free trial.
Yeah, and this is stuff like this is why you guys need this because we had the headline on here, and Charles on the audio squawk would have told you, the stock is halted, why it's halted. But yeah, so right before the halt, we were at.
AB, nobody can hear me.
Oh.
Yep.
Rohan? Someone?
I'll just talk loud.
Yeah.
Is that better? Is that loud enough or no? Go away, Spencer.
Luke, where's Rohan? Luke's mic's not working, apparently. Oh, here, let's see if we can adjust it on here.
No, I don't need to adjust anything.
All right, I'll keep going for now. So either way, Uber stock trading at about $42 before the news came out. Now it's all the way down to let's go to a 5-minute chart. Down at $38. So Lyft is trading with Uber as they often do. Lyft's actually down more than Uber, so that's surprising. Lyft down about 4%.
Wait, you didn't say what the news was. Oh, they gave intraday guidance.
They adjusted their guidance after the company reported earnings like 2 days ago, which I don't know. If you report earnings, then you got to come out the day later, 2 days later, and say, yeah, we weren't right. Here are the real numbers. Probably not a great sign.
Yeah, that's brutal. Let's dig into the financials for a second, Producer AB, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
All right, so we're looking at a market cap now of what? Let's see.
Market cap of $15 billion.
No, that's not right. 75 billion.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at Lyft. Uber.
75 billion, I got it.
78.
Okay, they have plenty of cash on the balance sheet, $6.5 billion. Let's just look at the cash burn. Nope, positively cash flowing. Let me make sure operating cash, yeah. Even cash flowing, maybe. Not any sort of crazy swing one way or another. Yeah. $5 billion of quarterly revenue. That's a little bit tough.
Yeah, this is a company that I love to hate. I do not like Uber as
I don't either.
I don't like the business model. I don't think it's ever been profitable.
I've never traded Uber. I wouldn't be dip buying in this one right now.
Oh, your mic.
Oh,
just
do I
got so
sound
much
way better?
Way better.
Am I louder?
You just sound way better. Whatever was done right there.
Okay, that'll do it.
Sorry for everyone who bore with us.
All right, can we go to Bitcoin for a second here?
Yeah.
I see Tony from Toledo's talking about Clean Spark up 23%. Minor news. Give me a daily chart on Bitcoin if you don't mind.
Let's do it. BTC, the one and only.
All right, here's what I want to look at this one now. Yeah, zoom in, zoom way in. Give me like 2 weeks worth of candles. Keep going, keep zooming. Wait, are your candles literally not filled?
I don't know. Spencer had me make my background white, and it screwed everything up.
Holy crap.
Here, let's do... Oh, hollow can... There we go.
There we go. All right, zoom me a little bit more because it's still a little bit tough to see. But if you look back 3 days ago, look at the wick, the top of that candle. We are sitting right at that previous high on Bitcoin. Look how many green candles there are in a row in Bitcoin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 green days in a row on Bitcoin. The crypto is right now right at where it previously got rejected when it tried to make a high. I think that if we get a break above that, and that's one that I'm watching right now live while we're on this show, Bitcoin has some room to run. What's the next sticking point? We got a couple double highs right around 52,000. That's a lot of room in there. Any opinions on Bitcoin? I want to throw this one out to the group. This is not like a long-term 10-year thesis type play on Bitcoin. This is a swing trade on Bitcoin. Anybody like it? Drop the 1. If not, drop the 2. Want to see where everybody is at on this one.
Yeah, I agree with you. Look, I think we get past 46 right now, 46,000. We've got room to run till at least 50 where we run into more resistance. So, like you said, I mean, just incredible strength shown in Bitcoin. And, of course, that trickles down to the rest of the crypto market. 6 green candles in a row. And, I mean, Bitcoin took a hit this morning on the inflation data and then has since come back with everything else. So, good to see that price action after that dip this morning.
All right, now I'm warmed up, AB.
Let's go.
It took me a second. Should we
go
more tickers? We want trades or we want stock picks? We want trades or stock picks? I got some sound stock picks. I got some sound trades, and I have one YOLO stock pick.
Let's start with a trade.
Start with the trade?
Yeah.
Alrighty. I've got 3 that are potentials right now. Let me just check the day action on them. That looks decent. That looks okay. All right, let's do it. Swing trade time. Okay, this is going to be a boring name. This is not going to be an exciting name. It's not going to be something that surprises any of you. But give me FB, producer AB.
FB?
Yep, give me Facebook, Meta, whatever you want to call it these days. Check it out. Okay, couple things going on here. All right, Facebook, it looks like the bottom may be in, and that is a massive gap to fill. Okay, we had a really, really nice green day on Facebook yesterday. We're seeing the continuation of it today. I typically like to look for 3 days, 3 green candles, but today is maybe the day. I don't know. If it were to break below that previous low, a little bit below 220, maybe it's 215 or so, that's when I'd be bouncing out of the position. But this might be the swing trade time for Facebook. It looks like the bottom may be in. We have 2 days of green candles. We're trading a little bit off the high of the day today, which I don't love. But again, two green daily candles. And then if you want to go to more of the fundamental macro thesis side of things, you have a stock that's growing quickly. Right, the stock sold off on guidance. That guidance still puts it as the second or the third best quarter in company history. It's nicely cash flowing. And think about this: if we're in for more market volatility, Facebook is going to be a flight to safety stock. I'm just telling you that. We think about what are these flight to safety stocks. Facebook is going to be one of those old tech, consistently cash flowing flight to safety stocks. When you have the opportunity where the stock is down 60% maybe from where it was, not halved, but pretty darn close off of its high. I'm sorry, down 40%, not 60. I got my 6 and my 40 mixed up. I think that it gives you a decent chance on Facebook. Did the last guest just say that too?
Say what?
Facebook? He liked Facebook?
He liked Facebook too at this level.
Fine. Similar setup, PayPal then. Go over to PayPal. Ticker PYPL. We talked about this one on the show last week. I was watching it. I had not gotten into it yet because I wanted to see a couple days of green candles. Similar sort of setup in PayPal. PayPal, again, nicely cash flowing, nice margins. The stock's now trading at about 5 times price to sales. If the bottom is in, which it may be, 2 green candles, trading a little bit off of the high today. PayPal could be interesting for a swing trade as well.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, the thing with Facebook is even if you say, okay, Facebook is dead, it's losing users, whatever. I mean, WhatsApp and Instagram are huge, and you have the growing Oculus side of the business. Like, I think, like you said, Luke, if we get into more turbulent times of the market, Facebook right now is trading at a 5.5 price to sales, so maybe a little expensive, but PE of 18. So at some point, some of these growth stocks become value plays once they're a massive enough
That's
company.
What I'm saying. Facebook is going to be a flight to safety stock. Let's do one more on the swing trade front. This is one that I'm actively in right now. Ticker NFLX, Netflix. Bought the dip on this one. Got really lucky. We filled somewhere right around 355. had a great bull run. Bill Ackman got in the stock. We liked it on valuation. Then we had the founder of Netflix loading up on $20 million worth of stock. Got another great pop. Since then, it's gotten quite boring. And you have Netflix consolidating right now. So you're on daily candles, producer AB?
Yeah, let me switch to daily. There we go.
Switch me over to dailies and zoom me in. Zoom, 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 zoom. Look at that. Look at all that consolidation in there.
Yeah.
So I'm mixed right now on how to handle this. The thesis is still true that I think Netflix is like a very reasonable growth at a reasonable rate type stock, right? It's trading similarly, again, about 5 times price to sales. Growth is still solid, 50% year over year. But I don't love this chart action. So I want to throw this one out to the group. Netflix, you like it right now or not? Again, I'm in it. I'm up maybe about 15% or so on the position in the past week and a half. I'm doing the debate in my mind right now whether to take the win and run or whether to let it ride. Do you have any initial opinion, AB? And I'll throw this one out to the chat. If you guys like Netflix right here, throw me the 1. If not, throw me the 2.
I think your thesis of it being under, like I think you haven't given enough time to play out yet. So I would say continue to hold on to it. Maybe set a stop loss. It's at 405 right now, or maybe don't set a stop loss, but say, okay, if it gets down to 375 and it looks ugly, I'll sell it for still a slight profit, and that's fine. But I would be trying to ride this back up to, and zooming out on the chart, we can see that gap fill is at
the crowd doesn't like Netflix.
511.
They don't like the Netflix trade. Sell Netflix, buy PayPal. Yeah, I think PayPal is the one. I think today's the day to buy Facebook too. And again, if it breaks that trend, I'm going to hop out of them real quick, right? We're not picking every single winner, right? I still think there's a decent chance that we're wrong. But if we're right, we have so much room to be right. And if we can be wrong and cut our losses quickly, I think that's the way to handle it.
This has been insane. So I think it was last time you were on, we were looking at the insider buys on Asana, and we talked about that with Reed.
Yeah, you called that one out. ASAN.
Yeah, ASAN. We have 10% moves the past 3 days. It's up 30% this week.
So somebody's saying Square too. Tony from Toledo likes Square. Here's the thing I don't love about Square is I don't love all the crypto volatility that you get into Square.
Look at this weekly candle on Asana.
All right.
I'm mousing over it. It says up 44% this week alone. So just an
That's
insane
crazy.
move.
Do you hit that with options?
I did not. I have just the common stock right now. I wish I would have hit options in it. But, I mean, looking at the chart, and we talked about this Gareth Soloway too, it looks like we could run into some resistance here at 70. But if we get past it, our next level is like 80. So that's still on the table. I still like that. Pulling up a stock like Roku, making a great move today, up 7.5%. This chart looks really good. I'm looking at swing trading Roku back up with some options. Another stock that is always fun to trade options on, Upstart.
Oh my god. Disaster.
Upstart, yeah, I mean, look at this.
It's been brutal.
The stock has gone down from about 400 all the way to lows at 80. But like Roku, like Asana, like some of these other tech stocks that are more kind of growth, they're not as established as your Facebooks, Apples that have just gotten beaten down, drawn down like 50, 60, 70%, having a really good week this week. So, I mean, Luke, looking at this Upstart chart, what do you think here?
I don't know, man. I like the business.
It's free money.
I like the business. I think it's tough.
All right.
I haven't seen enough yet. It's still an expensive stock.
I bet a firm is moving.
Also, what happened to our ceiling can? It just goes to like a ghost man now?
It's that's Rohan's desk.
So we just don't have a producer right now?
We have.
He's in the bathroom?
Yeah. We've got this, and we've got Elon.
Okay.
We should do a check-in on Tesla, speaking of Elon. I have no clue how Tesla's doing it. Oh, wow. It's completely flat. Look how boring Tesla's been this past week. It's flat.
Yeah.
All right, chat. Let us know what stocks you guys
I
are
got
watching.
more. You want more?
Yeah.
I got until 12:30. Spencer said. Spencer said I have 5 more minutes.
All right, let's keep ripping through them.
All right. So those were a couple swing trades. So I said I had some swing trades. I am gonna get long definitively Facebook and PayPal today. Just putting that out there. Facebook and PayPal. Those are 2 swing trades I'm gonna try to take for a run. Netflix, I might bail on. Haven't made up my mind yet. Let's get into stock picking world. Okay. What's something that's almost inevitable, especially given that damn CPI reading today, producer AB?
What's something that's almost inevitable?
Almost
Interest
inevitable.
rate hikes.
Yep. I was going to say that I have to go to the bathroom at some point today, but also interest rate hikes. Who's the benefactor from interest rate hikes?
Banks. JP Morgan.
Banks. Okay. Those are boring. Let's not talk about the boring banks. Let's talk about some more interesting banks, okay? Whenever we talk about bank stocks, financials, people think XLF, that's the ETF. They think Morgan Stanley, they think Bank of America, they think JP Morgan. What about the small banks? There are hundreds and hundreds of publicly traded small bank stocks, right? These are banks that could be in your community. They have 10, 15 branches. They are not the mega banks like a JP Morgan, okay? They primarily participate in small business lending, personal banking, commercial banking, etc. Okay, they don't have their big investment banking divisions. They don't have their sales and trading divisions. I mean, these are banks like when you think about your typical bank. You used to draw banks in elementary school. That's what we're talking about right now. There are hundreds of these. Here's my thesis on it. Okay, as banks become more cash flowing, which will happen as a result of interest rates going up. These larger banks, these JP Morgans of the world, and the regional banks will become more acquisitive. They're going to be looking for other companies to acquire, to add to their customer list, to add to their loan list, to add to their assets under management, etc. And so I sort of like some of these small community banks. And we have a bank analyst here. His name is Tim Melvin. If you want to look him up, Tim Melvin. Who is incredibly skilled in analyzing the quality of the loans that these community banks have, right? Basically, he sorts through all these hundreds of community banks, says which ones have strong loan profiles and could be great acquisition targets by some of these regional banks. And so the thesis here is twofold now. You have these small banks, which are going to do well and become more cash flowing as interest rates increase. And then also, as their larger peers become even more cash flowing, they could be looking at some of these community banks as acquisition targets. So I don't have any of these right now yet, producer AB. It's a space that I'm looking at, but I'll drop you 3 names out there for the chat. Their ticker ASRV, Alpha Sandy Romeo Victor, NSTS, November Sandy Tango Sandy, and WVFC, Whiskey Victor Foxtrot Charlie. Somebody help the chat out and drop those tickers in the chat. Tim has a whole list of 15 of them. Again, if you look him up, Tim Melvin, he's got a full list of them. It's great, but he's had this thesis for a while, and now that we see that the rate hikes are pretty much inevitable, I really like his community bank thesis.
We had ASRV, NSTS. What was the third one?
WVFC, Whiskey Victor Foxtrot Charlie.
Beautiful. Just drop those in the chat. I think that's a sound thesis. I will say the one thing about some of these more boring stocks, right? Whether we're talking JP Morgan, whether we're talking Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Stifel. Stifel's one that I think is interesting too right now. A little biased because it's a St. Louis bank where I grew up. Got some peeps that work over at Stifel, but Stifel, the chart looks unreal, trading right at 52-week highs. What you want to see, you've got strength in the stock. Stifel, a little bit different, but you have strong dividends in these stocks, Luke. So in these times of uncertainty, go into these financial stocks where you're also going to get a strong dividend and their share prices can perform well. It's a win-win.
Yeah, you got a really nice double top in there as well. Right around $83.
In Stifel?
Yeah, ticker SF.
Well, you don't want a double top, but if we get through it.
Yeah, you get through it. You're not far.
Yeah.
Less than $1 away.
What about the last one I'll bring up right now, which this
what's the dividend? So you're
Stifel
getting
doesn't have as great of a dividend as some of the other
30 cents a quarter. So $1.20. So that makes the yield what then? 2% ish? Not horrible. Not amazing, but not horrible.
Yeah. No, Stifel, it's going to be more growthy than some of your other names, so the dividend's not going to be as strong. But you know who just increased their dividend, a special dividend coming either this week or next?
No.
Blackstone. I think Blackstone looks really interesting right now. The chart looks really good.
Okay, so that's ticker BX. Wow, yeah, there's some strength on this chart.
Yeah, and we still have It looks like 150 is our previous like all-time high. So I'm playing this back up to 150, and then right around there, I think we'll see some resistance. But if we get through 150, then I'm looking for an even bigger breakout. And
wait, they're paying $1.45 a quarter?
dude, well, no, I don't even think I think they're doing a special one this quarter that's even higher. So I think heading into the dividend date, we're going to continue seeing strength. But yeah, good dividend. I mean, the company makes money. There was
stocks at high of the day too. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. All right. With that, producer AB, I gotta hop off.
Right.
Tony from Toledo's asking about Voyager. VYGVF. I have not, to be honest, I have not looked at Voyager in quite a while. I mean, I don't know. I can talk about like Bitcoin, right? We talked about Bitcoin earlier. Bitcoin leads the charge here. I think that Bitcoin looks nice right now. But I have not done like my typical fundamental deep dive on Voyager like I used to do back in the day in quite a while. So I'm overdue.
All right, we'll put that on the list for next week. All right.
Yeah, I didn't even get to my YOLO stock pick. I have
right.
one YOLO potential. No, we'll save it for next week. One YOLO potential 10 bagger. Major YOLO. It's a 0 or it's a 10. All right,
that.
so say that for next Thursday.
Let's save it.
Noon sharp. Spencer, noon sharp. 2 hours next Thursday. That's me.
Everyone, smash the like for Mr. Jacobi. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And there's Spencer Israel coming back in. So yeah. Blackstone's dividend 145 per quarter. Not bad. Not bad.
I've been listening to a podcast. I'm not finished with it yet. It's called Whoa, damn it. The podcast is called Business Breakdowns. It's a pretty good podcast. I'm listening to the Blackstone episode right now.
Dude, they're crazy. They're in so many different things.
So fun fact about Blackstone, it was founded by the former CEO of Lehman Brothers. Well, co-founded. Steven Schwarzman was not the CEO, but he was the co-founder. And then the other guy, whose name I don't remember, was the co-founder, was the CEO of Lehman Brothers, and he got fired. He got pushed out. And so after he got pushed out, this is in the mid-'80s, him and Steven Schwarzman were like, hey, let's just go into business together. Let's start doing some leverage buyouts. It was the 80s after all, and that's how they that's as far as I'm up to in this podcast.
Fuck yeah. Who doesn't love some good leverage buyouts?
So, has anyone ever read the book Enemies at the Gates? It's been on my reading list for a very long time. I never have.
No, but I was gonna say real quick before we
Barbarians. I say Enemies at the Gates. It's a movie. Barbarians at the Gates.
I was gonna say other news with Blackstone that was yesterday.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg.
Oh no.
Bought. Why? Oh no.
I don't know. He's busy. He's busy this weekend.
He bought his record. He bought Death Row Records back. He bought the rights for Death Row Records, which was being held by Blackstone.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Kind of a win-win for everyone. He gets Andrew P's asking, isn't Blackstone investing in crypto exchanges?
Probably.
I'm sure they're investing in everything.
They're
everywhere. They're not going to miss out on a
no.
potential emerging market. That's for sure.
I want to talk about the music thing, but after our next segment here, we got to talk biotech. It's that time of the week. We have Vivi, the Bio Queen, with us now.
Speaking of,
should I bring her on the show?
Yeah, bring her on the show. But when you were looking for a stock to trade on Spencer's big trade that day,
yeah,
I told you Moderna was looking interesting. It had a nice move yesterday. Since then, so
all right, let's ask Vivi about Moderna. What's up, Vivi? How we doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing fantastic. What do you think about Moderna? Actually, all the vaccine stocks are getting punished.
I don't know. I mean, people realized that one Omicron wasn't that big, and
Yeah.
and it's just I don't know. We're building some herd immunity. I don't think I would have touched vaccine stocks until we have a different strain coming in, maybe in the winter again.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't touch it for now. So,
Okay.
and I think that's the problem too with all the treatment stocks. Like Gilead with Remdesivir, people are not really dying in the hospital anymore because of the vaccine. So, We just need to know what's going on with the next strain. And
Hey,
guys, in terms of like a second generation mRNA, I really like the Gritstone Pharma, their vaccine for a
wait,
second
what's the ticker on that guy?
It's GRTS.
GRTS. Okay, Gritstone Bio.
Yeah, they have a really good vaccine that was covering all strains. Because with the Omicron, yeah, you're reducing hospitalization, but you're not really reducing infection, right? It's spreading like a wildfire. So they're gonna have to come up with the better vaccines. Not the case of Moderna, not the case of Pfizer. They're talking about now a 4 booster shot. That's ridiculous.
Wait, whatever happened to the Pfizer's pill? Did it ever get approved? Remember that? Remember Pfizer had that COVID pill that was supposed to, it was a treatment pill. It was supposed to reduce hospitalizations by whatever, like 50%. It was going to be like.
Isn't that a Merck one? I thought it was on Pfizer.
Oh shoot! Wait, maybe. Oh wait, maybe you're right. It might be Merck.
Or Merck or Regeneron also has a cocktail of drugs.
Yeah, I got the Regeneron when I had COVID. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Merck. That was supposed to be like the death knell to the vaccines because nobody was going to get vaccines anymore if you could take a pill that was going to decrease your hospitalization by 50%. But I don't know whatever happened with that. Anyway, yeah, Pfizer does have one. Thank you. Or maybe they both have one. Okay, what else is on your radar here, Vivi? Anything? Any new names for us?
Today, because if everybody stuck with me in the show, they would have been huge on BCRX. So we hit the 52-week high on BCRX, and I think that's deserving of mentioning. BCRX.
All right, that's had a really good week actually. Here, Vivi, let's give you a
very nice.
Very nice. Yeah, I've been pounding the table here since since $4.50. I believe this is $100 a stock minimum. If they become their own monster and rare diseases, there'll be a $200 stock. But the fair value here is $25 to $27. We need a $5 billion market cap to be a true value. So there's still a really, really good upside. Hence why BCRX is doing so well right now. So their drug Orladeyo, it's projected to be $1 billion drug. So they're going to do 122 million this year. They have ER coming up on February 23rd. So that's why it's getting a lot of love today.
February 23rd earnings. That's 2 weeks. 2 weeks from yesterday. So
probably be a good in the money calls if they're cheap enough. They'll probably be a really good buy here too.
Let's go to a monthly. We are at a holy cow. We are at a what is that? A 16-year high? That's a 16-year high in BCRX right now. Holy moly! Well.
My portfolio is very up today because it's my biggest holding is BCRX.
You know what, Vivi? I'll give you credit where credit is due. You're not always right, but you've been pounding the table on this one since I don't know, a year and a half now since you've been coming out with this. So
I want also to tell you guys another good one is I've been pounding the table, but it's been a lot of delays. Is SCNS. I just bought Leaps, $6 Leaps. I bought for July because they're being the chart looks good and they being waiting for the approval of their disruptive blood monitor, glucose monitor. That's going to be approved for 180 days instead of 90 days. Is already approved in Europe. I have no issues. This is going to be approved, and this is going to be huge because you don't have to be switching out of the kid's arm, every 90 days. It's like stays there. Safety issue has been proven. Data, it's been flawless in regards to be able to report, data. Because what happened is these kids will go to school and they have this glucose monitor, and the parents can monitor from their iPhones, to see if the kids are having any spikes on their sugar spikes.
That doesn't already exist.
Huh?
That doesn't already exist. That
it does, but not for 180 days. Parents want a convenience. They don't have to want to go back in a doctor every 30 days, every 90 days. So, that's there's nothing approved in the United States for 180 days. Another one I want to talk to you guys about that I spoke to And I think the chart's looking really good. I just got it today, full disclosure, the 71 cents is SPPI. So SPPI, it's trading under $1. It's trading under $1 with $130 million cash. It went down because they have a really good drug for neutropenia. Neutropenia is what patients have as side effects when they do chemo. And what happened was they didn't approve because it was manufacturing issues. So the plant has to be inspected again. And so they had a meeting with the FDA. There's no clinical trials needed. It's just manufacturing issues. And they have 2 drug approvals this year, and the catalysts are coming soon. So like I told you guys, I don't like to hold for PDUFAs anymore, but this will be a good swing. We can get a 20% swing here even before approval. So that's one of the ones that I added. It's been very beaten down. Like I told you guys, every biotech is right now, it's being beaten down. You probably will be okay just shooting darts at any biotech right now.
Wait, Vivi, I have a confession to make. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
While you were talking just now, I went into my YOLO portfolio and I bought some BCRX.
You did? Yeah.
Just now.
So, I mean, just hold that long term. And then if it dips, buy more.
It's my YOLO account. I may blow it up. I may just decide to blow it up one day, but BCRX, 16-year high stocks. Yeah. There's this natural reflex to not want to buy stocks that are making new highs, and that's viable to some extent. A lot of times when you're chasing, you end up, chasing is bad, but by and large, 52-week highs tend to beget more 52-week highs. All-time highs tend to lead to more all-time highs. Yeah, I could have waited for a pullback here, but this is my YOLO account. It's a very small account. I'm not trying to be that careful with it, but count me in, Vivi.
Yeah, you'll be okay on the YOLO account with that one. So you don't even have. If I were you, I would just sell everything, put everything on a YOLO account and BCRX. And
no, I'm way too risk averse and responsible. For
they
that.
say though, if you have a high conviction, a way to get rich is not diversifying, because diversifying you might have a lot of. I mean, that's what they say. You have a lot of
Who is they? Who is they? Is what I want to know.
And I was reading an article about that. Like, if you have a high conviction, you have a better odds of getting richer if you have a high conviction in one stock, one or two, than putting your portfolio with the 20, 30 stocks where you have your ups and downs and you're just producing 7-8% a year.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more risk, but BCRX is 30% of my portfolio. So
wow.
Yeah.
Anyway,
a lot of data, and I'm very, very confident that this is going to be a triple-digit stock one day, for sure.
All right. What else is on your radar? Do you have any new names for us, or no? And if not, if you have any tickers for Vivi?
SPPI is a new name. SCNS, it's definitely going to get approved. You guys, if you guys just want to dig a little bit in SCNS. I think this will be a $10 stock easy one day. So I got $6 leaps because they keeping FDA super busy. They say it can come any minute, but I don't trust. So I got July calls just in case there's any more delays, because they were supposed to get approval last October and never happened because the FDA is backed up.
Okay. Any tickers for Vivi, guys? Drop them in the chat, please. And she writes them down.
Mail me last week, but now I have a piece of paper. Just tell them to give me some tickers, and I'll look into them. Like I told you guys, biotech right now, pretty much you can shoot a dart and you're gonna make 20%. XBI, what's the XBI right now? It's not even $100 yet. It's $98.
Yeah.
So
Okay. We got a few tickers for you. Tony from Toledo, NSPR. I know that one. I know NSPR.
Yeah. NSPR again was one of the biggest losses in my trading. We got in too soon, and unfortunately, because we got in too soon, there's no approval in the United States yet. And that's why until they don't have approval in the FDA and have a sales in the United States, we're not going to be able to see. We got in too soon. You know what I mean?
Okay. What about sorry, I'm scrolling through the chat. There was one. Oh yeah. What about BMRN? That's come up in recent weeks.
Yeah, BMRN.
I think we've talked about. That. It's not really. It's a little bit a larger name. It's not. It's $17 billion company. So I don't know if it's in your wheelhouse necessarily.
Yeah.
But BMRN, you want to.
I mean, this company is good. Yeah, I think anything that is considered a large cap, we're pretty much safe, right? In terms of I mean, they're producing revenues. I would have to look at their books to see how well they're doing. But yeah, no, for sure. I'm looking at here. I bought 457 puts for next week, and I'm up $4,400 right now. I'm just gonna sell this. Just a second, guys.
Go take those profits. Nobody ever went broke taking profits. Way to be.
Geez, I just lost $1,000 trying to close this thing. It moves so fast. Okay, guys.
That sucks.
Okay, now just a second. What is this SPY gonna do here? You tell me, Spencer. Is it gonna continue to drop? Look at that 5 minute.
Hold on. Let me get on my crystal ball. 1 second. Hold on.
No, yeah. Okay.
It's not here, Vivi.
No,
sorry,
okay.
I left it at home.
Look at the chart. Look at the 5 minute chart. Okay, yeah, I did. I'm closing. Okay. I'm sorry, guys.
What the hell is going on with the market here? I'll add 5 minutes to my favorites. Why not? Let's go to a 5 minute chart on this.
Okay,
what the heck is going on here?
Yeah, the market. Oh my God, the market took a huge jump. 453 now, 61. Holy moly!
In all seriousness, I'm checking with our news desk right now. Do we actually have anything, or are we just deciding to shit the bed because?
Do we have any?
I don't know. I'm looking right now. I was caught off. I was not prepared for this. I was looking at the chat for tickers. I didn't even. Oh wait a minute. Bullard speaking right now. Bullard is saying what?
What happened?
Bullard just said that the Fed should be open to considering an intermeeting increase. Like, in other words, not waiting, not sticking to the meeting schedule to raise rates. What?
Oh,
they haven't done that.
God.
They haven't done that. They haven't done that since 2008. An intermeeting increase.
Wow.
Oh.
It's just dumping right now.
Holy what? That how did we go from a couple rate hikes to intermeeting increase?
Yeah, that's
Can we get everyone on the same page here? This is why people have problems trusting authority, and there is a lack of trust in our institutions. Can we get everyone on the same page? I understand that everyone on the Fed board is entitled to their own opinion, but like, this kind of information that was not out there. Has anyone ever in the last year, has anyone suggested going off schedule, diverging from the meeting calendar to do an emergency rate hike? Has anyone suggested that?
That's nuts. That's completely nuts. But hey, I'm up $4,000 for the day. I bought a 457 puts for next week, because I knew it was just like overextended. Okay, so yeah.
What even is going on?
But you gotta hedge your portfolio with some SPYs, that's for sure.
I don't even know. This is ridiculous.
It looks so
Holy
bad.
Cow. I don't even know. Intermeeting just means, so typically when the Fed, changes their policy, they'll do it in concurrence with their schedule, right? The FOMC, the Federal Open Markets Committee, the meeting that determines our interest rate policy, the committee that determines our interest rate policy, they meet, what is it like? They meet like 8 times a year, something like that. And they will stick to that calendar to make changes, and they'll do the meeting and they'll talk about it, and then they'll make the change after the meeting or during the meeting, and they'll announce it when the meeting ends. During the Great Recession, when our economy was tanking in real time, they were doing emergency rate cuts. Like they were like, forget the calendar, forget the schedule. We're not supposed to meet for a month, but who cares? Cut the rates and cut the rates right now. What James Bullard just said, and someone in the chat correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that he is on the FOMC committee. He just basically threw the idea out there of, yeah, what if we didn't wait till March to do a rate hike? Or what if we decided to rate hike in March and again in April? They don't have a meeting in April. They have a meeting in March and a meeting in June. Right? Is it June or is it May? So
so that had to be an interrupt. It's because everything went to shit. Like as we're talking, I'm like, what happened? I have to say though, BCRX is kind of being a recession proof. It's been holding. Look at that. You bought it and it's still at 1845. But everything else went to completely crap.
At the most basic, right? However you feel about interest rate policy, however you feel about the economy, we can all agree that the market likes knowing the direction, and they like knowing things. They don't like not knowing things. People hate it when the ground is shifting under their feet. That creates fear. That's what this headline basically did. The idea that you could raise rates off just whenever you feel like it, that was not an idea that was not mentioned in at the last meeting, the meeting before that, the meeting before that, the meeting before that. Not an idea that was in the public domain at all, or the public discourse. Well, now it is. It's just lobbed a grenade into the market.
Well, we remember how they say that they still need a correction to 390 levels. So maybe that's where we're heading now. This is what it needed to happen. That's what people have been calling, and a lot of puts.
Let's get off let's get off the SPY. Look at the Qs; they look the same. Look at the Russell. Come on, Russell. Looks the same. Let's go to Apple. Let's just go around the board here. Yeah, everything's sold off, and yeah, we bounced. We are bouncing here, but like, this is not the kind of headline that makes people confident. That makes people confident that the people making decisions know what they're doing. And like, I'm not an economist. I'm just some guy. They're much smarter than me. But the least that we can ask for, I think, the very basic is like, at least can you be clear and can you be consistent with us? And a lot of people have criticized Jerome Powell, I think fairly so, during his tenure for giving mixed signals at different times. And James Bullard has always had a reputation for being a little bit out there in terms of his comments, but to just drop this idea on the market is I think.
What's your opinion on the oil? What I have some calls on oil too. It continues to go up. So for sure, I've been buying oil too. It's kind of a crazy.
It's the one area that's strong right now, right? Everything else is sort of shifting, but
yeah, look at our XPI. I was so happy. We're almost hitting 199.16, and a news like today just put us back on a $97 a share.
Oh boy. Okay, let's just do it. Vivi, can you just write a few of these down, and then we can talk about them. Yeah. Sure. So can you write down? Ilana wants your thoughts on the psychedelics. So Compass and MindMed. Can you write those down?
I like it. Can you put the ticker name?
Yeah, MindMed is MNMD and Compass is CMPS.
CMPS.
I have not looked at those in quite some time.
Me too. I haven't visited those for a long time.
And then, sorry, I know I missed a bunch of tickers in the chat. I apologize, but I kind of got sidetracked with the whole Bullard thing. So, what else? Some people dropped a few other tickers in there. People dropped. I'm scrolling way up to find them. ARDX was in there.
Yeah, we talked about it. There was another huge.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
I'll update you guys on it.
And CTXR was the other one. Citius. Oh yeah, I know Citius.
CTXR. You got it. Okay, I will check those and I'll cover those with you guys. Sorry,
right.
guys, we had to go off tangent here, but I looked at my account and I'm like, what the heck happened with my spy puts?
I don't even know.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, you had SPY puts? Congratulations.
I had it for next week, 457s, because I felt like we're a little overextended. So
That's okay.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it hit my. I made a lot of money, so I just closed.
Good job, Vivi. All right, we'll talk to you again next week. Thanks a lot.
For sure, you guys. Take care. Bye bye.
Ay vey, everyone. What just happened? Don't worry, the drop was priced in. You know, there's an old drinking game. I don't know how old, and I don't know how real this is. Every time you hear the term priced in on CNBC, you drink. You don't last very long. AB, you missed all the fun, man.
What fun?
You just now.
What happened?
What happened? Did you see the market?
I was eating lunch. I was in the cafeteria.
Oh, look, I'll show you. 15-minute chart. 5-minute chart. Look at the SPY just now.
Eh.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah.
Eh.
All right. Aaron is selling the news.
Man.
Or buying the news. I don't know. So he's selling the importance of this headline. This is what he's doing. He doesn't give.
How long ago did this headline come out?
10 minutes. 15 minutes.
We'll see. I mean, if SPY drops like 1.5% compared to the 1% it's dropped right now, then maybe Mr. Market spooked out. I just think he needs some time to digest the news. Like, I'm digesting my lunch right now.
What's for lunch today?
It was Korean bao buns.
I'm excited for tomorrow.
The Super Bowl feast.
Tomorrow we're having like a Super Bowl feast. Well, we're not having a feast, but
the cafeteria at our office building has like a rotating special each day. I basically treat it like school lunch.
School lunch.
It's like some days it's really good, some days it's well, I mean, even the days where it's not amazing, it's still better than school lunch. So it's not really a fair comparison. But you know how like some day, I would always just get whatever the school was serving, and some days it'd be great, some days it would.
Wait,
not.
maybe you don't remember this. Do you happen to remember how long you had for lunch in school? Because we had like 21 minutes, 22 minutes for lunch at school.
It differed. By the time I got to high school, I believe it was like 25, 30 minutes. But there were definitely some years in like middle school where it was like we had like 20
or like less. I think at one point I had like 15 minutes. It's
Yeah.
like they like sandwich you in there. Should we just maybe tomorrow on the show we'll just order a bunch of the food from the caf and we can just eat it on the show? That'd be a little weird, but
Yeah.
whatever. It's Super Bowl Friday. Reminder: tomorrow we do have to enter the Quicken Loans Super Bowl Squares contest. We'll be doing that on tomorrow's show. If you don't know what I'm talking about, RocketMortgageSquares.com. Thank you, Rohan. RocketMortgageSquares.com. Scan the QR code on the screen. Enter to win up to $500,000 in prizes. Shout out to our friends at Rocket Mortgage upstairs right now. Okay, it has been an eventful day. Today really is exhibits A, B, and C as to why, if you are an active trader, it would behoove you to want to play both sides of the market. Long-only trading is inordinately difficult. Long-only investing is a whole separate thing. But for trading, if you're only playing longs, you're missing half the fun and half the opportunities, as we just saw. Look at that chart. We just saw this play out in real time. So we've been doing this segment every week where we bring on a couple guys from TradeZero, which is a trading platform ideal for short selling. It was built for short sellers. I don't know if it was built by short sellers, but it was definitely built for short sellers. They are the winner of the Benzinga Fintech Award for Best Short Selling Platform, like 2 years running at this point. And we're going to do this segment now where we bring them on and we basically talk about shorting. The segment is called Zero Hassle Short Selling with TradeZero. If you have any questions for us right now about shorting, about how to do it, how it works, what is a locate, what does it even mean? Now is the time to ask it. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Dan Pipitone, the CEO of TradeZero, and Stephen Johnson, who is a trader who uses the platform. And here we go. What's up, fellas? How we doing?
Gentlemen, happy to be here.
Whoa, Dan, you're in a new location for it.
I am actually in our new office in Toronto, Canada. Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So stay tuned, folks. Next week should be announcing the fact that we are ready to rumble, accepting accounts, and rocking and rolling here up north. Eh?
Oh. Okay,
Hey.
I like it. Real quick, just if you can give us some boots on the ground reporting here. How is the travel? What was that all like?
It was a pleasure, honestly. I didn't realize that Toronto was only a quick hour flight from New York. And although here there was a lot of paperwork and yada yada you had to fill out about COVID, and if you get stuck here, where you're going to stay for 14 days and you're going to quarantine with anybody with comorbidities, or are they 65 or older? So a little bit of a process, but masking the whole way. But
All right. Okay, so we're glad to have you both. The purpose of this segment today, what we're going to do is we're going to walk through all the different things that not all, we're not going to have time for everything, but like a list of some of the things that you should look at before taking a short position. So Steven, let's just start with you because you're a trader and you're shorting every single day. Let's just start with like some of the technical things. What things do you look at before or to inquire or to investigate a potential short idea? And then while he's doing that, Dan, I would love for you if you could share your screen and you could kind of show us how to see what he's talking about.
Let me do that.
We're very lucky today. We actually had a pretty good short setup today. One of the best ones I've seen in a while.
Can you walk us through like sort of what you looked at to find?
Absolutely.
Are you guys just seeing this right now? Sorry.
Yep, I see it on my. Yep,
Awesome.
I just pulled it up.
Awesome. So if we can get like a daily, we can go. The ticker is D. Let me just check it. DCFC, I believe. Yeah, DCFC.
Oh yeah, that's been a trending one.
I think it's an electric company. So generally when I'm looking,
it's DCFC. Frank.
DCFC, yeah.
Gotcha. DCFC. Sorry, a little slow on the update.
Yeah. So if we just connect it to the daily as well, so we can see the daily chart, and we go on a daily there. I mean, some of the things that, like, the first thing that I look for, and we're very lucky today to have this chart. I look for like a daily pattern that like is a technical daily pattern that's a short setup, and this is one of the most perfect short setups you can get. We've just had it today. It's basically a stock that's gone from the sixes. You can see that it was in, like, just 4 days ago, it was in the sixes and the sevens. It made a high as nearly 20, and it's interesting to note that it topped out at the whole round number of 20 as well. And then after the 2 big green days, the high as 20, we get the first red day. And like, this is like a real A+ key setup that I kind of look for, because it's the momentum shift where we've had a big parabolic push to the upside. And then all of a sudden, you've got the first red day where everyone's looking to get out. All the longs are all of a sudden, they're like, it's the down on the position. Or many longs who chased are down, many longs who are up on profits, they've realized there's a momentum shift, so they're exiting. So the longs are selling, and we've got the shorts who are thinking, okay, the momentum shifted, and then they're starting to short. So just the daily pattern is one thing, but the second big thing really quickly is, do you see how the volumes just dried up? Do you see the volume? We had like 100 million yesterday, and we've traded what so far today, like 10 million?
10.6, yep.
Yeah, and we're halfway through the day. So what are we going to hit? 15. So when the interest just completely drops off the stock and the demand drops off the stock, it becomes, it's not going to be able to sustain the highs, and it's going to start to come down. And another element of the great short.
Yeah, so looking to see the volume is not sustaining, and therefore neither is the price. That's a really good really good indicator here. So can you go through a couple more, and then I also want to share a couple on my end of things that I look for when I suspect a stock may come back down to earth. But can you, outside of volume here, Steven, what else are you looking for?
The only other things that I'm kind of trying, I mean, technically, I mean, we can go on the 1 minute chart. I think that's a good idea to look at the intraday as well. And if we just scroll back to kind of see the whole thing, scroll out a little bit more, just zoom out more a little bit.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, so just the only other thing that I kind of look for on the intraday is it's generally with these first red day setups, it's better that the stock doesn't go straight down because you don't want to just chase weakness. It's nice that it tries to have some sort of push in the morning, it tries to get something going, but it's not so easy to see maybe for Dan to mark out. But we had like this kind of front side trend. Like in the morning, we had a front side trend just from 9:30 to 10:30. For the first hour of the day, the stock kept on making higher lows, until it eventually peaked out at around 14.95. And when we see that trend break, that's kind of we've got three things. We've got the volume drying up. We've got that we know it's a technical short setup. So the last thing that we're kind of looking for is where's the entry, and that's on the intraday, and we're just looking for the front side of the trend. We can see like higher lows from 9:30 to 10:30, and then it just peaks out in the just before 15. When we get that first lower high, it's like where's the entry, and I think that's a good entry.
Awesome. I want to share my screen for a second here, and you know what? I'll pull up DCFC too, just so we can be consistent here. So that's been obviously a trending stock for the past couple of days. You can see it on the chart, right? It's ripped. It's gone to the moon, right? So outside of looking at volume and price and technical indicators, there are a couple fundamental things I would keep my eye on, right? The big one is what is the float / shares outstanding, right? So this is a DCFC page in Benzinga Pro. This is the details page. We don't have the float figure here, but if you scroll to the bottom, we do have shares outstanding. Shares outstanding is always going to be a larger number than the float, because shares outstanding is the total number of shares that exist. The float is just all the shares that are available for trade. So I see 153 million shares outstanding. So that's actually a pretty large number. And how I will use this number is very simple. If I see a number, let's just say arbitrarily, let's just say less than 30 million, maybe 40 million. I would call that a low float or low shares outstanding. It means there's not a lot of shares out there. Now that means that the less shares that exist, the easier it is to push around. So these stocks can rip to the moon in your face. But those moves are never sustained long term. And I never say never, but I'm pretty confident I can say never in this case. These moves may take a day or two or a week or a month, but in almost every case, the gains will always give themselves up. And so that I will use that as my indicator, right? Like, okay, I see a stock up 100% today. It's got 2 million shares outstanding, 2 million shares in the float. Okay, let's write this one down. And like Steven said, let's watch it. I'm not necessarily trying to chase it. I'm not trying to, call a top. I'm not trying to, chase it down either, but I'm trying to watch it. And if it shows some weakness, if for example, the volume starts to decline, okay, this was already on my radar here. I'm going to smack some bids. And so that's how I would use some of that information. Do either of you have anything to add on that front?
No, I think it's a really good point. I think the float on this stock was around 100 million, and it's just agreeing with the point. You know that it's not going to be able to sustain that height with that float. The other thing that I would look at is also like, is this company making a lot of money? Because it's an EV stock. So if it's a company like Tesla, where its revenues are going up and its earnings are going up year after year after year, it's making record new revenues, record new earnings, I'd be pretty scared, because I'd be like, well, maybe there's a reason that this stock is making this big move. But in the case of this stock, its revenues are up, but its earnings are actually down. It's a company that loses money. So it's not a company that loses money. It's not, for me, is likely to sustain a move.
Yep. Is the company profitable? That's a question you can ask. Is the revenue increasing or the earnings increasing? Those are questions to ask. What you can look at ratios, right? Is the price to earnings ratio, is it reasonable? Is it, I don't know, reasonable is subjective, but the S&P 500 PE right now is like 25. So is it 30? Is it 500? Right? What's the 500 would mean the stock is very overvalued. What's the price to sales? So the S&P price to sales right now is what, like 4.5? So what's the price to sales of the stock in question? Is it 15? Is it 20? That's a lot of money you're paying up for just for not a lot of sales, right? So again, the market short-term moves are not always fundamental in nature. Correct. But eventually they will come back down to earth. We actually had a few questions in the chat for Dan. I see you guys in the chat. Sure. So here's a question. Oh wait, this is more of an acknowledgement. What? TradeZero in Canada? So that wasn't a question. That was just more of a acknowledgement.
Stay tuned. Coming soon.
Okay.
We're in the day count now. No longer weeks or months. It's days.
It's days. Hey now. Okay. What else? There was a few more questions. M Nice. Do you need access to options to short? This is a question for both of you, I think, because Steven can speak to the actual. Well, Dan can speak to like the account minimum and things like that, but Steven can speak to like his personal trading.
You don't need options to short. No, it's not a requirement or a necessity. What you do need, however, is a margin account. In order to short sale something, you need to have a margin account. In the U.S., in order to qualify for a margin account, you both have to opt to receive margin, and you also need to maintain at least $2,000 in your account.
And yeah, my answer is I've never actually looked at options before, but after seeing a few people trade them, I'm getting more and more curious to learn them. But no, you definitely don't. You can short stocks just by locating them on the bottom left of the screen.
So based on what you just said, this is a question from The Ghost. Hello, The Ghost. Are puts the only way to short in a small cash account? Well, I don't know what your definition of small is, but what Dan just said is if it's above $2,000, you're good.
Exactly. And also, you're not necessarily shorting. You're just betting on the stock to go down. If you're buying a put, if you're long a put, because you could actually short options as well. But if you're long a put, you're actually betting on the stock to go down to the strike price by the certain date and probably go past that, because it does cost you some money to get into the put. So you have to factor that into your P&L.
Here's a good one for you, Steven, from Bill Bowers. How effective is using a stock that is, quote, rolling over and moving down to pick for a short? In other words, how far down is too far down to chase to a short here? So this isn't a tough question. It kind of depends. I don't know if there's a right answer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very open question because a lot of different setups can depend on the answer. But the best way I'd probably like to answer is if 90% of traders lose and a lot of the market's long, and most new traders and a lot of traders, the first bad habit they establish is chasing. Every new trader chases. So a lot of long traders are chasing spikes up. And so what I like to do a lot of the times, generally in principle, is if 90% of traders lose and a lot of traders are chasing longs, I like to do the opposite and short that strength. So my general answer is I don't short weakness, I short strength. So I do the opposite in general, unless it's like very, very, very like bearish setup. I'm generally shorting strength.
Just like it can be a good idea if you have a stock in an uptrend that is going up and you want to buy it, you maybe wait for a red candle to get in. The likewise is the same too. If you see a stock in a downtrend and you see a nice big fat juicy green candle up, 5-10%, you do it that way, right? The opposite candles can make for good opportunities in here. So what else do you look at in Steven before you're shorting? Is there anything else? And Dan, you also do some trading too. I don't want to, what else do you guys look at before while you investigate whether a stock is a potentially good short or not?
You can go, Steve, because honestly, I do trade, folks. But I am more of an investor, I would say. I'm less of a trader.
My kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, I have like 10 different things that I look at, and it sounds like it takes a while, but after a few years of doing it, you can literally do it in a few minutes. So it's like, what's the daily chart and what's the kind of the setup? Like, is it the overextended first red day like we just saw with DFCF?
Yeah.
How big's the gap down? If it is a gap down, am I getting a good entry day? Can I get borrows? Is it easy to get borrows? Is the stock got too much volume? Is the stock crowded, or is there not enough people in the stock? Is the stock trading in a very thick way or a very thin way, like slow or fast? All technicals, and then fundamentals. Does the company make money? Is it in a hot sector? What's the news? Is it up for a reason?
Dan, can you bring your screen back up here? So someone in the chat just asked if Benzinga Pro is a trading platform or if it's just for news, and the answer is it's just for news. It's not, you can't trade, but the beauty of Benzinga Pro is that our news does not just live on our platform.
That's correct.
Places like TradeZero get our news, right? So Steven just mentioned looking at news flow. Dan, let's bring your screen up on, there it is. So, looking at news flow, what does that mean? Well, you can go into your trading platform on TradeZero and pull up the news, look for a news feed. I don't even know how did we get here?
So I just logged into Zero Pro. This is our flagship product, and just click the little news icon right here on the toolbar, and up comes the news. And you have the opportunity in the platform to link windows. So in other words, I have this news window now linked to my order entry screen. So if I were to type in, Tesla, for example, it's going to now bring me not only, the relevant market data and charts, but also all of the news related to Tesla.
Nice. And again, no, this is what I said earlier with regards to Uber, right? Is I wouldn't have felt comfortable making a trade in Uber because I didn't have a good understanding of what the news was, and without that understanding, I felt like I was flying blind. I feel like I had no idea what was really going on there, and so knowing the news catalyst is so important. Understanding what it means. It's not to say stocks have to go down on bad news or up on good news, because they don't. But knowing what the news is that's out there, if you don't know that, you're the dumb money, right? Like that's just the truth. So
and to add to that, Spencer, we love the why is it moving feed that we get from you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Really, so in a headline, you can kind of see, what's going on with the stock. Halted on circuit breaker. So you don't really have to read in terms of what exactly happened, but you can, So trades strikes a session high. Tweet from U.S. President Biden. All right. So without combing through lots of different articles and combing through stories, that why the stock is on the move, and then you can evaluate if that really, if that reason has legs to the upside or downside or not.
Yep. Exactly right. So again, this is our weekly short selling segment, Zero Hassle Short Selling with TradeZero. If you have any questions about shorting, you're on live now with a trader and a guy who literally runs a shorting platform. So ask away. This is your moment. If you had a question that you're afraid to ask, this is your time. And if you don't get it in now, you'll have to wait until this time next week when we bring him back on. But Dan Pipitone is the CEO of TradeZero. Steven Johnson is a trader. He goes by Jonk87. There is a link to learn more about TradeZero in the description. Let's put it on the screen right now, actually. I have a few links in here, so we can go that guy, but there is the link in the description of this video. Check it out to learn more. I highly recommend that platform if shorting is of interest to you. There's a reason that we brought these guys on and not other people, frankly, is because this is what it was built for. Happy made a comment in the chat before, half the battle with shorting is just getting the shares.
That's right.
Getting the shares, right? Does your broker have the shares available to lend you? That's what you're known for, right, Dan?
That's right. So. It's one thing to be long and wrong. It's another thing to know the stock is on the way down and you can't get the shares.
Yeah. Elon wants to know if you can short SPY right now. We're not going to do that, Elon. We're going to just save that.
We could, and not only can we short it now, it's easy to borrow, meaning there is no additional fee for shorting it.
I think he wanted you to do it right now, and I don't think we're going to do that right now.
I'm not going to do it, but yeah.
I don't think we want to go through that right now, but we could, but we won't. How about that? Dan, Steven, it is a pleasure to have you on as always. We'll talk to you again next week. Stay green out there.
Yes.
Cheers, guys.
Be well, guys. Thank you.
All right.
well, bye.
It's a tough one as always. All right. Thanks a lot, Dan and Steven. Zero Hassle Short Selling with Trade. All right. We're back. What's up, AB? How you doing, man?
What is up? Yeah, I've been watching the overall markets. I mean, we are seeing SPY continue to dip lower. Checking in on some of my, the names that I just kind of look toward for bellwether, how the market's doing. Apple, Microsoft. Apple down 1.5%. At some point, I mean, like Apple hasn't really moved after its like great report. Like it kind of has,
but kind of hasn't.
I mean, I've been expecting a bigger breakout in Apple, but right now, just chart wise, I'm nervous. We're kind of sitting at a previous support. Same thing with Microsoft, to where if we go, let me pull up my Benzinga Pros.
Yeah, I was gonna get my chart up.
Yeah,
so
your
I
charts
can
look
see.
better. Let's do that.
Someone said my charts look bad the other day. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, if you get me out to a daily.
A daily?
Yeah.
I could do that.
Like daily candles.
Okay, wait. I'm getting rid of the 5-minute thing. I added that because of Vivi, but I don't want it there anymore. All right, daily candle. Here we are.
Yeah. So if we zoom in on the last like couple weeks.
Okay.
You see right this level that we've been consolidating in.
Bob, up, down, up, down.
Exactly. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Apple actually come down from here and hit that previous resistance right at 160 where we were pre-earnings. And then right there, I would be a big buyer. Look for a double bottom there. Where we're at right now, I'm sitting on the sideline and going to wait. And if we can break above this level, like 175, we'll call it back up to 180, then I want to play that breakout. But this level right here it's kind of like just kind of in purgatory, kind of in limbo. Doesn't know if it wants to go back down to that previous level or wants to break out. And again, Apple reported amazing earnings. Some of the best earnings probably of a company has ever reported. Just in terms of sheer numbers. I mean, they printed money, made, what was it, $120 billion in a quarter?
I was trying to play a sound effect, but it didn't work, which is sad. Yeah, they crushed it last quarter. They crushed it. I don't have the numbers top of mind. The beauty of Benzinga Pro is they're really not hard to find. If I went into my news feed and I searched for Apple and I filtered by I went to the categories filter and I went to news and I went just to earnings. That's 3 clicks right there and we're done. And here's every earnings headline about Apple. And you just scroll and oh, look at that. Apple EPS beat, sales beat, revenue, iPhone revenue came in well above the estimate, 71 versus $65 billion. Oh man. And here we go. So yeah, that was easy. Anyway, they beat. And the stock is done okay. It's not act like it's been bad. It just hasn't been good either. So I don't know.
Another stock that I'm watching right now that I'm not in, I've never had a position in, but I've been considering entering a position in.
Yep. Fwonk.
Let's check on Fwonk first.
Is that what you're going to say?
No, maybe I should have gotten into this with you. When did you get in?
What, Tuesday?
How's it doing since then?
I'm up a little bit. Just a little bit. It's not as...
Callaway's made a nice move since I got
crap. You just reminded me that they report earnings tonight.
Spencer, maybe we just got to start tailing your trades.
Look at that Callaway. I should sell. Should I sell right now? I was not as convicted in the Callaway trade.
What if you sold now, Callaway reports bad earnings, and you buy back in at a lower price?
What if?
I think you just hold it.
All right. I'll hold it. No, what was your stock? Sorry.
Fisker. FSR.
How is Fisker doing?
Not great. Is your answer?
Well,
but
actually, it's holding up better than I would have thought.
Actually, and speaking of earnings, Fisker reports earnings next week.
Oh, they do?
Not as pertinent for a company like Fisker who doesn't really...
Wait, it says it right there. But yeah, we don't care about earnings.
Because, why is that?
No, but they should announce like a timeline in theory, right?
I'm telling you, I've been, and granted, this is the investor deck's job, but I've been going through their presentation and like, let me pull it up real quick because.
Oh my gosh. Wait, we have some breaking news. It's not about the stock market, but we do have some breaking news. Where's my breaking news at? Woj bomb. Harden to the Sixers.
Oh, holy
Simmons, Seth Curry, Drummond, and picks to the Nets. Holy cow.
Holy cow. See, Happy Muhammad brings up he's saying, I expect the golfing company didn't get the best earnings during winter months, but you got to remember.
The market knows that.
Market knows that. It's priced in. Like, it's a cyclical stock. But you had the holiday season, too. Don't forget. I'm sure this year a lot more people got presents in terms of golf gear compared to previous years. So looking at Fisker's, let me see if I can get some zooms in here. Maybe not. All right, looks like I can't.
No.
Cannot. Henrik Fisker, of course, the chairman, CEO. He comes from is that Aston Martin, BMW, and Ford. Just looking at their team of executives, they've all got great experience from different car companies. Going down this next slide, you see like this guy Todd, their head of user experience design, comes from EA and Microsoft. I like a lot of this. I like a lot of the experience there on the board. Again, flipping through this deck, you can see here, right here is the timeline, Spencer, you were looking for. 2023 is their first model, the Fisker Ocean comes out, and then they have.
Wait, can you be more specific, or do we not know? We just know next year. It doesn't say when.
Maybe. Let's continue going down here through here. Let's see. No specific plan to ramp beyond 5,000 units per month during 2023. Yada yada. To me, what I see here is I think there are a lot of EV stocks, EV companies that we've seen, whether you're talking Ride, that are so like
beaten down.
Well, beaten down in terms of share price, sure, but I think they're just like so like the infrastructure is not there. And I don't think Fisker is in that category. Like, it seems like Fisker is serious about their ambitions to like play in this market. And I'm not saying some of those other companies aren't serious about their mission, but like, you need experience, you need investors, you need the money. And Fisker has all that compared in terms to the other pre-revenue, like pre-market EV companies.
Okay. I have long been very skeptical, not because I don't believe in any of these companies, because I believe in some of them, but I don't know who to believe in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think you have this group of EV companies that are currently producing vehicles that are being sold, right? Tesla, Volkswagen, whatever. And then you have your group that are all down the road, future bets on. You can bet on Ride, you can bet on Lucid, you can bet on all these companies that don't currently have models out there. This right now, Fisker, and subject to change, everything can change when I get more new information, more research. This is my pick out of those companies that don't currently have cars on the road. So yeah, I am curious because again, for a company that doesn't have aren't selling vehicles right now, like earnings may not be, it's not going to be life or death, but it'll still be interesting, like you said, Spencer, to see what their timeline looks like. Are they able to give us some more information on any programs that they're working on? This chart's cool. So it shows the Fisker Ocean is going to be the second cheapest EV SUV on the market.
So the lowest you can get it for is 37,000, and the most is 69,000.
Yeah, so they have a wide range, which I think that's actually a good
wide range.
I think that's actually a good model, though, right? You have your 37 base one, but then you have a more luxury model that you can sell up to 70K. So you get it on both sides of the spectrum. You have a higher margin when you sell one of the more expensive cars, but you also get that target demographic of people that want an affordable SUV.
Is it me, or is $37,000 not affordable?
I mean, it's an SUV. It's the same as any.
All right.
It's cheaper than a lot of ICE.
I've only bought one car in my life, and it was a used Ford Fusion. So I guess I'm not the best gauge of what is and isn't affordable for a car. I can't imagine spending 30 or 40 or 50 grand.
Well, 37 for a brand new SUV is very much on the affordable end of the spectrum.
Fine. I still spending 50K on a car blows my mind. So
here's the driving range with the pricing, so you can see that Fiskers will sit on the higher end of the driving range, but kind of mid in terms of pricing. The Ocean Sport, of course, down here. So yeah, again, and this is more one that I'd be looking at as like a long-term. So they have a partnership
Wait.
with Fox. What is Foxconn? Just
Dude, Foxconn. Remember, Foxconn is the Taiwanese.
I know they're Apple.
They're Apple suppliers. They're Taiwanese chips, I believe. Remember when they were supposed to build that factory in Wisconsin?
Dude, I read
that never happened.
I read a really good article about that.
It never happened.
The little town in Wisconsin that they did build it, and someone else just bought it, and they're moving like 100 people into this factory that was at one point supposed to hold like 10,000 people.
Great.
The town that this Foxconn thing in Wisconsin was supposed to be built on.
Yeah.
They had to like redo all the water because the factory was going to need like tens and thousands of gallons of water a day. So they did that, and then now the factory's not coming there, and the town itself is going to be on the hook for like $20 million worth of like water charges for this factory that's never coming there.
Yeah. Don't you just love when companies come in and just screw up everything for everyone?
Well, I don't even from the article I read, it sounded like it was more on like the politician side than like Foxconn side.
Everyone's guilty except for the people that live in the town. It's no fault of their own. They're the ones getting screwed here.
And a lot of them had to like sell their homes for the factory.
Yeah.
And like get rid of their
It's
land.
brutal. It's unfair and sucks.
Trump went up there and like
that was a big part of his campaign.
Celebrated it. Yeah.
Big part of
like,
his
I
campaign.
got whatever, and then.
Joke.
So the guy,
Total joke.
whoever the governor is of Wisconsin's getting a lot of flack for that.
Scott Walker, I think. I don't know anymore. What was I about to say? Shoot, I was about to say something. Someone in the Tiny Pie asked if I'd ever driven a $50,000 car. I have actually. I've driven some nice cars, but I've never bought a new car. So you know what terrifies me is right now more than usual is getting car damage. Because I don't know how I would afford to buy a new car right now or a used car. God forbid I have to buy a used car right now. I'd go broke. They're so expensive.
Yeah.
It's a bad time to be needing a car.
Yeah.
So
I'm locked into a lease, so luckily on the maintenance and that's.
Oh yeah, you're good. It's a good time to be a leaser. It's a really good time to be a leaser.
My rate doesn't change. I'm pretty sure I got like an offer from the company or the dealership that I leased it from that were like, we'll buy it back from you for like more. I'm like, no, I kind of.
Damn right they will. They tell them, give me more. I need more. You want to play ball? Let's play ball. Okay, real fast, Francis from the chat. Can you get some info on the news about the rate hikes? Yes. So what happened was, as of like an hour and a half ago, the expectation was that we're going to get a rate hike from the Fed in March, right? March 21st is their meeting. So they're going to hike rates in March. Whether they hike rates 25 basis points or 50 basis points is subject to some debate, but that's the consensus. They're gonna do a rate hike in March, and we'll probably get another rate hike at some point in June or in September, right? But the consensus was rate hike in March, and probably more down the line. But what happened about an hour ago is that James Bullard, who is on the FOMC committee, he's a governor, he's a Fed governor. He was speaking, and these Fed governors, they speak all the time, and they're asked their opinions and at these hoity-toity economic clubs, and they give these fancy speeches. And what he said was, what we should consider doing actually is. The rate hike in March is cool. The rate hike in June is that'd be cool too. But you know what else we should do? We should hike rates outside of the cadence of that schedule, of that FOMC meeting schedule, where we're going to meet in March, we're going to meet in June, we're going to meet in September, we're going to meet in December. We're going to. What if we just decide to wake up one morning and just YOLO hike increase rates 25 basis points? Wouldn't that be interesting? That's basically what he said. He said, we should throw the idea of hiking rates whenever we feel like it on the table. And just the idea of that was enough to cause what you're seeing today. That's essentially what he said. He said, rate hikes whenever we want. Wouldn't that be interesting? Now, James Bullard typically does not speak for the consensus. He does not represent the consensus thinking. But that very idea is new. That's a new idea. That was not out there before. That was not out there in the minutes from the last few meetings. That was not said in the press conference. It was not said in the statement. Nothing about deviating from the scheduled meeting cadence. Nothing about that has been said before. So that's basically what happened. Is you have this idea of, oh wait, somebody at the Fed wants to actually just like, what if we just start ripping rate hikes, right? Just because. You know, so now it's not a question of how many rate hikes. Now it's a question of like, wait a minute, how many rate hikes and like when, right? Like, are we talking March and April, or like March and April and May? Like, I don't know. It just creates another variable, which is not enjoyable for the market. So that's basically what's happened here today.
Yeah, and I mean the really, what is it? The first, second, and third rate hikes are almost certain, and it's a question: are we going to get the fourth, fifth, and sixth?
I don't even know if 3 are certain. Here, you know, let's just check what the CME. The CME has a great tool. CME FedWatch tool.
What is going down?
Hey, Spencer.
What?
While you do that, while you look that
Oh,
up,
we have trivia, don't we?
yeah, we do. But also, I need to get Aaron Bree set up in the blue room so we can run our little test. So, Bree, if you want to run over there,
Okay,
now.
you do that. I'll stay here by my lonesome. What is this? What is the Fed funds futures market? Okay, what is that was very nice, Aaron. What is the Fed funds futures market saying? God, it doesn't always. It takes forever to load this page. I swear. Okay, so the Fed funds futures market is saying, what? Holy crap! Let me share my screen. Okay. This is wow. I'm a little bit late to this. Okay, so this morning, this table said the top left cell said 75%. And the one directly to the right of it said 25%. That's what it said this morning. 100% chance of a rate hike. Probably a quarter point, but maybe a half point. Now look what it says. 98% chance of a half point rate hike. That happened today. That change happened today. We went from a 25% chance to a 98% chance of a half point rate hike. Oh boy. I'm just noticing this for the first time. Market is pricing an 81% chance that rates go up to between 75 and 100 basis points by the May meeting. Basically, there's a 50% chance that interest rates are between 1.5 and 1.75% by September. 50% chance of that. Oh boy. I honestly have. I've been thinking that like we probably don't get more than like a half a point, just because the market is freaks out over any rate hike. So I kind of thought half point would be like, I thought maybe they would like stop there, but like the market is saying, nah, we don't think they're going to stop at a half point. We think they might go up a whole point or more this year. So wow, that is surprising. Holy moly. Okay. Market says 50 basis points. So right now, these, I should just tell you what this top row means. This top row is the federal funds rate. Right now, the current federal funds rate is basically at 0. It's 0 to 25 basis points. That means 0. That's the lowest you can go without going negative, right? So right now we're at 0. And they're saying, yeah, we're going to go up to between half a point and 3/4 of a point in the next meeting. What the damn? That's pretty wild. So that's why you're seeing some crazy. So buy the dip. Well, Andy, why? I have to pull up my charts right now because I didn't have them open. Well, I had them open, but I was looking at the table. So let's share my charts from Pro right now. Let's take a look. See, we have to do a crypto update. We have to do trivia today still.
Spencer, Bree is good to join you anytime.
Bree can do trivia.
Well, I mean, we're good to bring him back on the show.
All right. Well, he's not here.
No,
so.
he's next to you. If you look
Whoa!
left.
He's on next to me. Look at this. Look at this. Aaron Bree.
I can't. Can you hear me?
Yes. He
can't
can't hear
hear
us.
you.
He can't hear me, Rohan.
Oh, 1 sec.
Hi, Aaron.
I do have a grievance to make. I don't know if you can hear me. Not really a grievance.
Yeah, go. You're good.
I'm. All right, hold on. I'm getting some help from Rohan, so I
No,
can
you're.
hear you.
He can't hear me. Shit. What is he doing over there? He's max headroom.
All right, I
Yes.
can hear you now.
This is the metaverse. Is that where you are, Aaron? You're in the metaverse?
I'm currently in the metaverse. Yes.
All right, what's up?
This guy from the Fed that everyone's picking on.
Yeah.
He's from the St. Louis Fed. Is that why everyone's picking on him?
That's it. Everyone knows the St. Louis Fed is the worst Fed.
That's not true.
It could be true. I don't know.
No, St. Louis Fed's like the most reputable.
The most reputable Fed.
Bree, get up on your mic a little bit more. You're a little quiet.
Get up on it. Get up
Or,
on the
just bring it
dance.
closer.
Spencer, do you see why Nelly was trending on Twitter yesterday?
No.
All
No,
right.
why?
Neither did I. I was curious.
Oh. Wait, okay, so real fast. We're about to do trivia, but before we do trivia, let's just do a real fast crypto update, all right? All right, crypto is a risk asset. Risk assets go crazy when volatility increases as it is right now. So I'm a little bit surprised to see Bitcoin up, but you got more red than green on the screen today. ETH is down a smidgen. You got Binance Coin up, Ripple's down, Cardano, Solano all down today. Dogecoin, Sheep down as well. Even Near Protocol down over 4%. So this is your crypto heat map. This crypto update is brought to you by Voyager. If you want free Bitcoin, download the Voyager app. Use the sign-up code ZING, Z-I-N-G. Open your account with $100. Make a trade, and they will send you $50 in Bitcoin. Do it, or don't do it, or do it. All right. Is it time for trivia, guys? I think it's time for trivia. Wait, is Aaron for it? Aaron, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Just checking. Rohan. Yeah, that's exactly it, Aaron. Is it time for trivia? Do we have our questions ready?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. For those who don't know, we do a weekly trivia segment every Thursday, usually on Thursdays, where we give away some free swag. I don't know what the theme of today is. I don't know if we have a theme. And we're just going to...
general knowledge.
General knowledge trivia. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring the questions up on the screen. You're going to answer the number of the response that you think is the correct answer. And then the winner will get some free Benzinga swag. Are we ready, Rohan?
Yeah, I think we're ready. Aaron, can you say something real quick? I just want to make sure audio's good.
Yeah. For breakfast this morning, I had some oatmeal. Put some
like that's
blueberries.
This is our MO right here. We are testing this out live. We have never done this before. I promise you, we have never done this before.
F it. We'll do it live.
We're doing it live, like Bill O'Reilly said.
All right, let's do it. Let's bring
Do
on
you
trivia.
guys think I look better or worse in the metaverse?
You're a little pixelated, so I don't know, maybe worse?
Maybe better. I don't know.
Better?
The thumbnail was too high res. I talked to Rohan about that. I said we need to get some shittier cameras that don't capture all my blemishes.
Oh, we got some tunage going. Nice. So normally we do this with myself, with Aaron, with Rohan, and with our other Aaron, but other Aaron has been co-opted here by Luke Jacobi for
drafted.
He's been drafted by Luke Jacobi to help do some billing stuff right now. So Aaron Thomas is not available, but we got cool Aaron. That's all that matters. So
speaking of drafted, I got a letter saying be ready for some mandatory service boot camp in the next coming week. So
yeah, from the Benzinga boot camp. What is the largest organ of the human body? Is it skin, liver, large intestine, or heart?
Yo, I think I know what it is, but I'm not on YouTube to type it yet. So
what's the medical word for skin? Epidermis?
Epidermis.
Epidermis.
That's not an organ though.
I think it might be.
What? Your skin is that true? Is your skin an organ?
That was always like what we said as a kid. Like, what's the biggest organ in your body? And someone would be like, I don't know, your heart. You'd be like, no, it's your skin.
Oh, in that case, I'm wrong. The consensus seems to be 1. Oh wait, Enver said we gotta hide the chat. Wait for
here. I'll
Oh
hide it.
shit!
I'll hide it.
What
Alright,
happened to
guys.
Affirm? What happened, Spencer? Can we
Hold
get a BZ Pro headline?
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Affirm?
yeah. I'm looking. Sorry, I'm in with the trivia now too.
I actually don't know how to hide the chat.
Affirm blasting off. They report earnings tonight. Did it leak? Did the numbers leak? That happens sometimes. What is the largest organ in the body? I'm wrong. It is skin. Damn. I did not know that was an organ until just now.
Dude, Spencer, did you accidentally leak the earnings? I told you not to.
What the hell is
I
going
told
on
you
with
to
the
make sure
firm
they
right
were
now?
encrypted.
Who wants to read this one?
All right. Folks, what was the original name of the search engine Google? Was it Search Pro, Netscape Navigator, or was it Cat Massage? Or, better yet, a little
Okay, so
back rub.
it's a screen. I don't know the answer to the question, but you're a firm question, Aaron. There's a screenshot that they accidentally tweeted a link of the like leading to their investor page with their earnings on it, and the tweet had some numbers in it. So yeah, they may have been. This is unconfirmed. What was the original name of Google? I'm going with.
I like back rub.
I like
personally.
I like Netscape Navigator.
Yeah, I went with back rub too because it was the funniest. But
Oh, wait,
gotta be-
what? Wait,
Really? Is that real?
why would it be called back rub?
Why not?
Why not? All
Wait,
right.
wait. So that means someone was like, no, backup is bad. Google, which isn't even a word, is better.
I guess
No,
so.
Google is a word. It means like a lot of numbers.
It's a number, yeah.
Oh, it is. I didn't know that either.
All right, Spencer, you can read this.
This one I know the answer to. What is the name of the very first video uploaded to YouTube? Is it Tribute? Is it My Snowboarding Skills? Is it Me at the Zoo? Or is it Carrie Rides a Truck? This one I know.
I believe I know this one too. I think it's at the zoo.
Yeah, it is me.
Everyone's saying that, so I'm gonna
It is
ride
me.
the wave here.
It is
Go
me
with
at,
three.
me at the zoo.
Side question: do you guys know what YouTube was originally supposed to be as a site?
What was it supposed to be? As I say, not a video hosting service?
I think it was, but I think the original use case was like a dating site.
Really?
Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I had heard something.
I think that was
That
also
was
the
Facebook.
No, I was gonna say that was also what Benzinga originally was.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't know if that was the name. It was in the name, Benzinga. I don't think it
No,
was.
it's not. That's not true.
That is fake news.
But Raz did have a dating site at one point.
That is true.
Yo, why is my stream deck not working, Rohan? I can't play a sound. I can't play sounds.
That's troubling because wait, hit a button real quick.
You are fake news.
Oh,
Yeah,
now
it works.
now it works.
There you go.
All right.
See?
Which country drives on the left side of the road? Is it Russia, Japan, Germany, or China? I don't know.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Wait, we have listeners in at least 2 of these countries right now, I think. So, I'm just gonna go. I don't know.
I put a straight up guess out there.
They're all saying 2, but they're all wrong. I'm gonna say Russia because it's Russia and they have the best dashcam videos.
Russia do things backwards.
Wait, where's BZ Tokyo? BZ Tokyo, are you here? I feel like he would know if it was Japan or not because he lives in Japan.
Wasn't that was like an old meme? It was like here in Russia, you remember like
Yeah,
back in the day?
yeah. You don't drive on a road. Road drives on you.
yeah,
that's-
exactly.
It's just like
Mother
that.
Russia me.
Yeah.
Okay, just to validate what I said, according to co-founder, it was designed as a way for people to upload videos of themselves talking about the partner of their dreams. So it was kind of
That's
a
so
dating site in a
wholesome.
way. Yeah.
It is very nice.
So wholesome.
And yet, and here we are, 17 years later, and YouTube is a crazy place.
All right, folks. How many colors are there in the rainbow? If you can figure out the number of Skittles, that might be helpful.
I just counted, and I think it's 7.
I didn't even bother. To
Isn't
count, I
it?
just-
Is that Roy G. Biv?
Yeah.
I
dang,
guess I
then-
just kind of gave it away.
Yeah, I guess I might have put 6.
You might have been wrong.
That is the likely scenario.
Oh, people are putting 7 in the chat, but you got to put the number.
You gotta put the number,
2.
guys. Not the number of the choice, not the number on the number.
Oh
Rookie-
man, that's
rookie
gonna screw
mistake.
someone up.
Rookie mistake to everyone. Let's see what we got. All right, I know our news desk just reached out to a firm. I'll update if they have anything. Yeah, it was 7. All right, is this our last question, or is there more? There might be more, right?
Let's see.
Chase the rainbow.
Two more.
2 more. All right. Is this me or is this Aaron?
I don't know, whoever.
I'll read it. When did the website Facebook launch? Was it 1, 2007, 2, 2005, 3, 2004, or 4, 2002?
I'm pretty sure it's 2004. Because it was the Facebook, and it was only for people at Harvard, right? So I feel like it's got to be 4. All right, sorry, got to be 2004. What a wild day we're having. We got James Bullard tanking the market. We got Affirm earnings leaking, apparently. We have Uber having to give guidance a day after their earnings report. What a strange day it's been. Antonio, that was a good game. Yep, 2004.
Very nice.
Mitch, I see you. Mitch, you want to play some trivia with us? Although we're on our last question. Come on down, Mitch. What's up? Oh no!
Oh, this is
I just screwed it up. Sorry, Ron. Wait, which American-manufactured submarine gun was informally known by American soldiers that used it as the grease gun?
Oh,
The Thompson, the MAC-10, the M3, or the Colt 9 millimeter.
I don't think it's the
no.
Thompson. The Thompson was a similar gun, but
The
it
grease
wasn't-
gun. Wait, is the Thompson also? Is that a Tommy gun? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's the predecessor, I think, to the grease gun because it was too expensive. So I think that's how they ended up.
Mac
with the
10
grease
sounds
gun.
pretty cool.
I've heard of Mac 11s because they had those in the Matrix, but I don't know what Mac 10, or maybe I'm thinking of Mac 10. I have no idea. I don't know guns, man. I'm from the East Coast. We don't do guns. we don't do guns where I'm from. That part of the country. I should have moved here when I was a kid. I want to learn more about guns.
Oh wow, okay. I guessed Mac 10, but I guess it was the M3, which, good job.
All right.
If you got that right.
Okay, I definitely did not win this round. Who is the winner of this week's trivia? Drum roll, please. Where's my drum roll? There we go. No, Aaron Bree. No, Patrick Starr.
Patrick Starr. Gotta
Let's
give it to him.
go. I had 2 guesses that I just got lucky on. Well, the rest I rode the wave, but
Wait, Happy Muhammad wants to voice a complaint. He says not to use numbers as the answers because the numbers will not register. All right, that's good feedback. Going forward, we will not use, if we're going to use numbers in the answer, we'll spell the numbers out. But Patrick Starr, congratulations. You are today's win. Didn't you just win like the other day? Email us, Patrick. Email shows@benzinga.com. Can I get my there we go. Shows@benzinga.com to claim your prize. Yes, you did win. There we go. Check it out. All right.
Star.
That was fun. Thanks for playing. Before we end the show, I wanted to bring on Money Mitch. He was working on like a side project for the past like couple of days, and I think he wanted to tell us about it. So, Mitch, what's up, man? How we doing?
What's going on? Can you hear me well here?
I hear ya. I see ya. Do you like how I've got Aaron sort of next to me, but also not next to me? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're COVID safe there.
That's exactly why we did it. It's because of COVID. Now that you mention it.
Yeah, I haven't seen AB, in a box before, but it looks like that episode of what is it? The Big Bang Theory. When he gets like a robot.
Look at this?
Get like more of your eyes in it.
What is going on?
Ooh.
What?
That's essential. Let's use the word.
Creepiest thing ever. All right.
But definitely, guys. So one thing I want to tell you guys is yesterday I did make a trade on IMAX based off of AMC sympathy. So you apes out there, I would definitely check out this video. You guys can definitely learn a little bit. So really, the video touches topics on leaders and laggards, sector industry analysis, and how to keep the mathematical advantage in your favor. We put this up, guys, on ShareVision. What is ShareVision? I'm sure you're asking.
I am asking that question. As a matter of fact, how'd you know?
Is a dedicated platform only for financial content. What I like about it is specifically the features of, let's say you're looking up content on Apple. You could actually search for Apple. I know that you can do this on YouTube, but I myself, as being one of the people that continuously work on the tags and description words, I can tell you Google's algorithm isn't the best for stocks. And that's what these guys are working on specifically, is to get you guys content that you can filter by stocks, crypto, and so much more. So I tell you guys to check it on out, and I'll throw up the link here. It's up in the chat there.
I put the link in the chat. I was gonna like bring the video up while you were talking, but I'm too late. So well, I guess I'm not too late because I could bring it up right now. This is so check out Mitch's video. Mitch made a trade, and he talked about it. Check it out. Link is in chat.
Only
below.
10 minutes long either. So it's not going to take you all day, guys. It's only 10 minutes long. So you guys go ahead and check it on out.
All right. I knew you were working on some secret over there.
I got some more up my sleeve. You want to see what else I got up my sleeve?
We are the bottom line here, Mitch, is that we are experimenting with new platforms, right? We are on YouTube, you know that, right? We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on Insta, and now we're on ShareVision.
I'll tell you one thing. We're soon to be on even more platforms. I got one that I want to do a little promo here for. I'm going to be up on next on the roadmap, guys. I want you guys to tune on over to the roadmap. And guess what, guys? I'm in the metaverse. We're in it right now.
What the hell?
I'm in. Let's go, guys. Who's going to join us in the metaverse?
Wait,
guys?
are you doing this show from the metaverse, like for real though? Not
Yeah,
even joking. Are you
literally,
doing it?
like, I'm going to the rooftop, guys. Let's go. Meet me
You
out
talking to me
here
now?
on roadmap. Let's go.
Wait, what? All right.
Go meet us, guys.
I guess I have to watch the roadmap now because I've never seen a show from the metaverse before. So I guess we gotta tune in for that, and that'll be next up here on YouTube.com/Benzinga. Yeah, it has been a very strange day, a very strange show. We almost never have news break during the show. We had like 3 news breaks during the show just now. So bit of a weird day on that front. But hey, I appreciate you all in the chat as always. We didn't even get to talk about Disney or Twitter really that much, or inflation that much either. Where did the day go? We totally got away from us, Aaron. But that's all right. Things happen. Hey, before we go, everyone do me a quick solid and hit that like button. I would appreciate that very much. And hey, check out Benzinga Pro. You get a free 2-week trial for everyone, or just sign up. And I have a special link that'll get you a 25% off discount. Let me make sure I have that link in the chat right now. Where's my link? Let me get it for you. I'll paste it in the chat. 1 second. But again, pro.benzinga.com. Free 2-week trial for everyone. And yeah, that's basically it. Let me find that link for you, Aaron. Can you fill time while I find my discount link for Benzinga Pro?
Yeah, just taking another quick look at the overall market. So the S&P 500 is currently down 1.3%. Again, earlier in the show, when I came back from eating lunch and we got that news from the Fed, I said I would start to get worried if we see a drop of like 2%, 1.5%. It looks like right when we got down to about 1.5%, we've started to kind of bounce from there. So keep your eyes on the price action of the SPY, of the Qs, of the overall market over these next couple hours. Again, we have 2 more hours in the trading day. So I think it'll be very telling, right? If we see this upward momentum continue, that's showing, okay, investors on Wall Street are shrugging off the inflation fears, still bullish on the economy growing. But again, if we get that sell off tomorrow, who knows?
Check out the link in
Tomorrow
the
will be
chat.
interesting.
The link in the chat and the link on the screen, benzinga.grsm.io/Benzinga Live. That gets you 25% off your Benzinga Pro subscription. Highly, highly, highly recommend. We're done. We're going to hop off. Mitch and Chris going live on the roadmap from the metaverse right now. Everyone will catch you later. Have a good rest of your day. And stay green out there. Thank you.